Broadcasting live from your childhood wood-paneled basement, this is the Retro Handhelds podcast, featuring Stubbs, Rob, the Retro Tech Dad, Aish Rios, and today's special returning guest, Russell Crandall from Retro Game Corps. So sit back, relax, crack open a cold beverage, and let's get this aging gamer party started. Oh yeah!
You guys like that? What's going on, everybody? This is Stubbs from Retro Handhelds. I'm back again today here with my host, Rob, the Retro Tech Dad, and Aish from our channel. And we got Mr. Russ Crandall from Retro Game Corps back on the show. Russ, how you doing?
I'm good. It's funny. Only Zoo and my mother call me Russell. It's pretty funny.
And our AI announcer. So
yeah, that's not Zoo. I thought it was Zoo.
You thought that was Zoo talking? I mean,
yeah.
Let's just go with that. That was Zoo. That's definitely Zoo talking.
Because he does call me Russell, so
he does. I think it's endearing and adorbs. So you just released a Game Boy DMG video today, straight up, no IPS mod in or anything.
That's right. I just bought. I mean, it has a new case on it, so they put a new case on it. But other than that, yeah, original buttons, original screen, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I just I never owned one, so as part of it was me like wanting to get a little piece of my past, and then also just to see what it's like in today's day and age. And yeah, you can see from the video it's not that great, not anymore.
That it's not a great experience.
I mean, the screen isn't. Everything else is amazing. Like the fact that they got the D-pad and the face button down back then, 33 years ago, is kind of crazy.
Well, I felt the same way when I got a DMG last year. I got one with the IPS mod, one without. And I definitely couldn't play the one without. I'm like, how did I do this as a kid? 8 years old, under my covers with a flashlight, playing Metroid 2 Return of Samus. And for some reason, it was thrilling back then. But now I'm like, yeah, how do we do this? You got to do the IPS mod.
Yeah, no, I'm going to keep how it is. I love it.
Okay, fine. Rob, how you doing, man?
Doing well. Had a little bit of a war with my stomach last week, but
no, that's right. I heard that. You missed out.
I'm glad the podcast was this week, not last week, because I would have been so upset to miss it for sure.
you missed out on the what was it?
I know.
TRDR Pocket. The Turder Pocket 2. You know what? Gianni, the creator of the Turder, Soldier Boy, all the handhelds that they did with Soldier Boy, he wasn't thrilled with the live cast, but he didn't hate it. So we'll revisit that at some point. And then we got Aish here.
It actually exists on the back end to respond to any video about it, because it just seems like a company that just kind of came and went, you know?
I think he's kind of hyper online and just wants to build his brand. He really focuses on the AI, which is, as everyone who watched that live stream realizes, was a little creepy and a little too personal of an AI in that one. So we'll be happy to not cover that one too much more. Hey, how are you doing, man? You're looking fancy today.
I'm doing good. I had to go out in public, so I had to wash up a little bit. Wife doesn't like it when I just walk out of the house without doing anything. But yeah, having some serious Game Boy flashbacks and just thinking about how cool it would actually be if that AI could like help you during the game. Like, or at least mock you or say something, be interactive while you're playing. That would be really cool. Other than that, I can't really think of a use for it. But yeah, the potential's there.
I think so too. And
I don't think I can handle it mocking me while I play the game, though, because
you're just playing something like Contra and it's just making fun of you.
Oh, forget it.
Yeah. It's the real arcade experience. Somebody's just right next to you, just pushing like, oh. I can't say what I want to say here because family show, But yeah, it would be more realistic, definitely.
Which handsome boy are you talking about, Billy Zard? I would say probably the one in the lower right, personally, or lower left.
We all look the same, to be honest.
We all kind of do. If aliens came down to Earth and looked at this live stream, they would probably not realize that we were any different. That we're just a race of clones.
I think we had a full conversation about this in the Discord. Just talking about how there's a certain look, certain demographic, age. It's just kind of starts to blend in a little bit.
I think so. And with that, let's get into the news. Now, Rob, thanks for doing the screen share. So the SZDiiER D-007 is shipping. It will arrive on doorsteps any day now. I got my shipping notice yesterday. So I will be covering that the day it comes in. I'll be doing the live stream, seeing what that thick boy is all about. We have those big bump outs on the back. They did confirm on the store page now that it has an RK 3326 inside. We're doing that again.
That looks so terrible right there. Look at that.
Really
It's ridiculous looking.
It's why.
I think someone posted
finally have a place
the
for our
dimensions of
fingers.
it too. They were like some crazy dimensions on it. I'm like, what is happening here?
I see the
Oh, those
face now.
bezels.
I see the
Yeah,
face
this
you
is
guys are
awful.
talking
Right
about.
here. That is just. what
Yeah,
is
the
that?
bezels are huge. James,
Look
do
how
what's
small
saying
his
this.
hand looks.
Well, maybe he just has small hands.
I don't know. That thing is huge.
Oh my gosh.
Look at the bezels. It's more bezel than screen. Even the handheld's unimpressed. Like it's just.
I mean,
I
how
actually
do you
canceled
have
my order.
dimensions?
I couldn't stomach keeping it. I don't know.
You couldn't stomach
I
keeping
couldn't-
it.
I
Don't you want to know what this is?
What?
Don't you
Yeah,
wanna-
because you know what? After that assault I had last week, I went through an epiphany and said, you know what? I need to not buy this thing.
Have you noticed that
Kitty's
sticks aren't
coming
recessed?
after me?
Oh my god. The screen quality is the only thing that I have issue with, really. I don't mind the
Screen quality.
size.
So bad.
It's
Do
not
we have-
laminated either, it looks like.
It's not. I don't think it's
I think we
I think we
laminated.
had some.
What was the price of it?
It was $60 to begin with, but now they're selling it for $85.
That's the RGB.
They're
which
trying
is
to make sure you don't buy it.
crazy. Well, here's the other thing: is that there's like 5 other clone stores that are selling this now, and they're selling it for the original price of around 60 to 65. I think at that price point, it's probably still not going to be good. But what are they saying there?
You should be getting a small gift with Chinese elements.
That's right. They sent that to me too. That I'll be getting a small gift
Microphones?
with Chinese elements, and I immediately thought of Captain Planet, of like the different friends, like Earth, Wind, Fire. Like, is that are we getting
Avatar or something like
superpowers?
that?
The 5 people
I like
who
that
bought
it says, I wish you a happy life. Like, you're done. Like, here, I'm not giving you any support. Have a nice life. Here's the handheld.
It's all the stuff that wasn't good enough for the AliExpress surprise boxes. That's what they're getting in there.
Gotta get an iPhone USB cable.
No, that goes in the surprise box. This is the stuff that
Yeah,
wasn't good enough to
it's
make
not.
it into that. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Awaiting delivery here. We got another emerald green. that
Yeah,
is
I went
faded.
with emerald green as well. Did any of you get a different color?
Oh, here's some of the packaging.
I got green.
You got cool. Yeah. You hear that, everybody? Russ got green, and I have my frog outfit right there if we
Has
need to.
nothing to do with that. But okay.
Oh, okay.
I love this picture. This is like sketchy, taken in an alley at
Yeah,
night.
if you're gonna
kinda
buy it
thing.
off the back of a truck, this is what the experience will look like.
They just took it off the back of
exactly
a
what it
truck.
looks like.
Yeah.
I would love it if they put weights in it. Like you grab it, you're like, oh wow, this actually feels kind of sturdy, and it's just weights, like a Powerade controller, for no reason. It's huge, it's heavy. Yeah.
I gotta see the RGB in action too. The lights on there, just why?
Yeah.
Is it me or the sticks not recessed? They look like they stick out a lot more than they
Yeah,
usually
they
do.
Oh,
look
no.
sticking out a lot.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
LED lights around the sticks are going to
Yeah.
be hype, right? Is that?
And that crease in the
Exciting.
back so you can put your fingers like when you're holding it.
What's
It's
got
ergonomic.
like a nice solid chunk thickness.
You can call
to
it thick.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It's thick. It's thick.
Do we have the exact dimensions? Can we imagine what the dimensions are?
Yeah,
Well, I think
actually, let me see if I
posted
can
the
pull them up.
dimensions.
Yeah.
They were
I
apparently
should have them
ridiculous. Though. They
somewhere.
made no sense in terms of what they provided. It just
It's
yeah.
Right.
It weighs 400 grams. That's all I know.
Is that
I'm
a
not
lot?
sure.
Is that a lot
400
of
grams.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
that's almost a pound,
Is that,
or
is
about
that
a pound.
Steam Deck heavy?
Yeah, so Steam Deck is like 700-ish,
Yeah,
Oh, so not as heavy as Steam Deck. Okay.
but
All right.
still, that's close. Come on, that's
it's
crazy.
dense.
Well, you know what you can do with dense handhelds? You can use them as home defense.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's got to be
Protect
something
your
in there.
family.
That's because when he's grabbing it and moving it, it looks flimsy. There's no way that's
Mhm.
400 grams if they didn't put weights or something in there. For I don't know why, but
Two thirds the weight of a Steam Deck. Yep.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's going to be very interesting. I'm not sure if I'm ready for that.
Here's one with the
It's a
package
handheld
open.
picture.
I am going to compare it with my RGB20S, and I really hope that it comes with fun stickers, different animals.
That with that face?
I mean, with
the
that
meth
face.
face?
Yeah. Well, in my new RGB20S I got from PowKiddy. PowKiddy. It has 2 tiger stickers. So I wonder if I could reverse engineer or just engineer the second tiger sticker to fit over that. I can just notch it out with a little X-Acto knife and make it work.
You just
Right.
get a sticker that has its arms crossed like this. You just put that on.
I mean, the tiger boy is so happy looking, and this guy is just very much like, oh, why'd you make me? Oh.
It's a terrible
Also, that
handheld.
green-
I'm upset.
That green is
That's
not
not
appealing.
that's
is
not
not
the
an
green that
appealing
it is
green.
though in person apparently. Have
Oh,
you
I
seen
know.
pictures of it? It's a completely different green.
I know.
It's
It reminds me of like Gerber baby food, like peas, like crushed peas
Yeah.
or something, like something really disgusting like that. It's just, it doesn't look good.
Oh, Cadence brings up a good point. Maybe it's a dual 18650 battery, which is what's in the Data Frog, I think, on the back grips.
Ah,
So maybe
Okay.
that's why it's so thick, because you can play it for days. You're going to be playing 3326 content, ArcOS, all that, as long as you want.
I'm going to say no. Given the fact that they made so many bad decisions, why would they make such a good decision?
That's also
Like,
true.
It doesn't track.
Do we know what the battery life is like, or how large it is, how many milliamp hours it is?
I don't even think there's batteries in those.
I talked about it in the speculative video a bit.
Just wait.
Maybe there is no battery.
Batteries are
It's
optional.
just a shell. That's why it went up $15. So you can
I
get
want to say
batteries.
I want to ballpark 3,500 milliamp hours, but I need to look it up again.
Let me see if I can get the listing for it. Let's take a look at it.
You know, yeah, no, thank you for doing that. I think I listed it in the video description, perhaps,
Let's see.
mayhaps.
3,500, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 3,500. Double
4-hour
confirmation.
playtime is what they're saying.
Celestial. Did someone say play for days battery life? Yeah, this guy, if anybody's out there looking to get more battery life out of their PSP Go, out of their Fun Key S, probably out of the RG Nano, this is the guy to contact on our Discord. He makes thick, big booty batteries for whatever handheld. So it's the dude for that. Not only that, but let's talk about something else. Let's talk about, you guys ready for the McNuggie? You guys heard of this? This is a legitimate branded chicken McNugget that's being sold by McDonald's in China, and it plays one game, Tetris, but they bought the license for Tetris from Nintendo, so it's all above board, and they're only selling it in China to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the chicken McNugget. Now, some people have bought this in China already and modded the screen so that it could play ROMs and all that good stuff. But the default option here is very much going to be like those old Tiger Electronics handhelds. It just has the little black and white monochrome screen. There you go. And it comes in an actual chicken McNugget box from McDonald's. So these are in China, they're a few bucks. But buying them in the States, they're on eBay right now for around anywhere between $25 and $50. So I snagged one, of course, obviously, and Slicer's selling them too. So I snagged one from him. So I don't know why I got 2 of these.
That's where I got mine from.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look and zoom in there, the top of the D-pad has a double down arrow.
Oh yeah, here there's a good
Which is
How
picture.
does
cool.
the chicken handheld feel about this?
Yeah, the hard drop
Well-
from Tetris.
I do like that.
Yeah, so
Like
Chicken
yeah.
Boy is a little bit upset about it
Yeah,
because
that's
he
what
was the original. Like, this was the cool guy. This was the chicken handheld. Now we have an actual licensed chicken handheld.
I'm kind of
I don't-
bummed that we didn't get it in the States or in North America.
We might
it is-
eventually, because I
They
saw
thought of-
posts in Spanish for it.
They probably thought Americans
okay.
wouldn't get it. We'd make fun of it. We would.
Oh, I think
we're
it
too
will go crazy
stupid.
for this thing here.
We're too stupid. We'd probably eat it. You know, and a lot of lawsuits would happen.
But what does Tetris have to do with the chicken McNugget?
I don't know. Nobody
Tetris
knows.
movie? I don't know, maybe it's because of the Tetris movie hype. I don't know.
The Tetris, maybe it's the Tetris movie tie-in.
Which was a great movie, actually.
Was
it's
it?
surprisingly large. Did anybody else notice that it's bigger than it needs to be?
Oh, yeah. It's huge. Yeah, it looks like it's huge.
Yeah, it is. And
yeah, there was some better angles to kind of get a better sense of it. But it's a big boy.
I'd love to see it from all. Just,
you can kind of see it in this person's hand here.
Like here's the nugget, like an actual chicken nugget next to it. It's huge.
Yeah. It is. It's large.
It doesn't need to be that big either.
No.
Here's the thing, guys: is if it plays a perfect game of monochrome Tetris, I'm in. Cool. $25, well spent, maybe. I'll do a dedicated stream on it, probably.
For forever, basically. That's what it's going to do.
And exactly, and it's going to end up as a novelty, much like the chicken handheld, where I actually had a funny stream idea the other day where I thought, you know what if I beat one game on here from start to finish on stream? I put myself through that torture just to say I've legitimately used the handheld, and I couldn't bring myself to commit to that yet, but I know they don't make
my family loved it. We actually used it. Yeah, when I first got it, yeah.
Yeah, we made the trade-off at the zoo down in San Diego. Yeah. Aish brought this back to me. This has traveled the country, went to a bunch of our patrons over the years, and it eventually came back. And I'm so happy. The screen's still in great condition. It still works, turns on. Still has.
Did you charge it?
I haven't charged it yet.
It hasn't been charged. The whole time I had it, I never charged it.
It has some sort of cursed eternal battery life.
Yeah.
I've never in my life charged this device at all.
It's been months, if not years. Actually. Yeah, and it's never been charged.
Wow. And here's the thing about this one, and I wonder if this has a Tetris clone on it, because then we could do a real comparison side by side to see which is the ultimate chicken handheld.
I think that has a better screen than the 007 handheld.
It might. The viewing angles are pretty terrible, but it's it's a unique Famiclone.
I'm sure the Double Boy will be just as bad.
I love the chain.
Here's what's nice about it is that it doesn't have screen tearing as bad as some of the cheaper ones.
Yeah, it's not bad. A little bit of stutter, but no screen.
A little bit of stutter, but
Chicken Mario.
And they've replaced
I saw when it flashed
of
between screens. There's a diagonal screen tear.
But
yeah.
Let's see if I can play this. They've replaced all of Nintendo's characters sprites with a chicken in the game. They took the time to do that, and that's kind of a dedicated. I got to get the viewing angle just right. Oh, damn it. Russ, one day.
I love how we look for screen tear nowadays. And I remember when I first started emulating games, I would do 16x speed on Game Boy on Pokemon and just grind away that way.
There we go. This would be impossible to play for more than about 30 seconds. Oh, I got I think that was a radish. Oh, this viewing angle is so bad.
Yep.
So bad. Yeah, they do. Anyways, this is the real Chicken Boy, and the Chicken McNugget Boy, the McNuggie, is going to have to compete against the best. They don't sell these anymore. They're pandas.
It reminds me of the ROG Ally, not in actual form, but in how all these companies, GPD, INEO, they came
that out as a clip link.
No, they came out with all these mini PCs, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, look at this," and then ROG Ally is like, "Okay, now the big guys are going to come in and actually have a real console." And so this is the exact same thing. McDonald's saw the chicken handheld, and they were like, "We can do better."
Oh yeah.
And so there we go. That's where it came from. So.
I think you're the first person to make the ROG Ally chicken nuggie connection, and I want to. And not the last. I want to celebrate that. Maybe we should instead do the McNuggie versus the ROG Ally on June 13th.
So a while back, I saw this thing where if you took out all of McDonald's money, it would be more. I think it would be in the top 30 countries as far as wealth wise. If it was a country, all of that money was put together to take down the chicken handheld.
Right. That's it.
That's
exactly.
It. That's
they
what
weighed
that
on all
was.
their minds for so long. It's finally we got to do something about this.
The panda version of this, they were too lazy to change the chicken to a panda. You kidding me? Oh my god!
Sounds about right.
We have probably the best time for handhelds ever. Some of the most powerful ones out there, and we just spent this whole time talking about the thick boy and the chicken, and I love it.
Well, here's the other thing, guys, is that Russ threw down the gauntlet. Let me pull up this comment here that he said, this man on this show right now. These are my delay tactics while I pull up the...
I like that Billy Zard said that I have too much Hawaiian sun. That's why I'm acting weird about this. But I make retro video games. How much sun do I get? Come on. Like, I'm working on videos all the time.
Okay, I got to run Russ's banner. Sorry, Russ.
Thanks, it's all good.
We love you. We have to poke fun. So I left a comment here. It said, watch 3 bearded dudes convince Russ to buy McNuggie. I was joking around. This is the live stream Nintendo doesn't want you to see. And Russ shot back with, if you convince me to buy this thing, I will shave my beard. If you don't, all 3 of you have to shave your beards.
Oh,
all of us.
What?
And I said it's a deal on behalf of Rob and Aish.
Oh yeah, what the heck? What the heck?
Sorry, sorry.
If I shave my beard,
guys.
it's gonna look like you've abducted
I
a high
know.
schooler.
Oh
for
boy, yeah, you've committed to this though because you're on the show now. Oh boy, So
it's gonna make some people very upset.
Well, you know what? I think what the answer is here is that we have to convince him, because someone's shaving a beard. We have to convince him to buy the McNuggie. So let's pull up eBay. Let's see, what do we got?
No, I'm not doing it. But we can check in later on. But I'm not buying that thing. I've done enough e-waste this year.
$25.
Data frog.
What? Oh
all
god.
that hype, you guys.
It's not.
Retro handhelds hype.
Retro? Are we hyping? Is that our fault? Did we do that?
The data frog is 100% your guys' fault.
Oh no!
Come on now. You guys changed your server to everyone was putting frogs on everything. You guys are going nuts about it. And
really?
I bought it.
I don't know.
That thing sucks. So
I feel like you're also kind of responsible for the thick boy.
Well,
yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yep. And I feel bad about that. Sorry.
He almost got me too. That's why I canceled. Nope, I'm not giving in. No way.
Me once.
You guys don't love this. And also, they make it in actual green now. Have you seen that one? Have you seen the one that comes in actual green?
Oh, I know, with the camo stickers on it.
I've been getting messages from people that saying, "Hey, we've updated the firmware. You can now change the button mapping." I'm like, that's still not enough. It's terrible.
I will say they put in a good amount of work in making sure the D-pad feels at least decent.
Yeah,
I will give it that. Yeah. Besides the button sticking, which mine doesn't do that, the buttons actually don't feel bad.
That's the thing, man.
Surprised. Yeah,
that's the thing. Let me triple hype it.
I mean, it's cool to see what you can get for $20, but
the face buttons.
Get what you pay for.
I think the face buttons are the highlight, and the screen's the highlight. I thought the face buttons are pretty good. Unfortunately, the damn screen tearing ruins the entire experience, and I'm still hoping we can somehow get some custom firmware to fix it, because this was not hyping it to hype it. This was legitimately a cool idea that unfortunately was executed poorly. But at that
price, it's still. I mean, it is still amazing what they put in at that price.
Yeah. Right.
But it's still not good enough.
But it's still not.
It's not good enough to actually want to play. That's where you need to get to.
Play it now. Is it good enough
for
your kids to play? That's the thing.
No, because that was my plan. That was going to be on my angle when I bought it. I was like, okay, this is how I'm going to introduce my kids to retro gaming. They're not going to care about that kind of stuff. And I ended up not going that route after playing with it. I was like, no, this is not actually good enough. And so that's when I changed my mind.
Fair.
Look,
but
it makes a nice display piece, at least.
Yeah.
But
it looks interesting.
But look at this. They're selling the McNuggie for $23. Why is it? There we go. Oh, it's so bright. Look at this. See?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can. Let's see how much shipping is. Shipping
to Hawaii.
Free. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably not to Hawaii, but yeah.
Well, I'll cover shipping if you get this.
You just want to keep your beard.
Well,
I just want to keep my beard. I don't want
that's beard. Part of it. That's part of it. Look, $23.66. This is bargain bin. This is even cheaper than what Slistral's charging. This is crazy. Nobody buy this. This one's for Russ, but they have 10 available. More than 10 available. So
It is tempting, but you have to bear in mind that I have so many other things that I want to make videos on. I got the Playdate still sitting around. I've had that for like, I don't know, a year at this point. I have a Mister that's been unopened since 2021. Haven't gotten to it.
That's not
two
a
different
handheld.
arcade cabinets over here on the side. Like I got so many things. Yeah, there's a Mister right there.
Well,
and yeah, I wouldn't want to tell you all the stack of things I have coming in the mail, like that are actually in the mail right now.
And a Surface Duo that I sent to you.
Oh yeah,
also.
the Surface Duo I bought for what was that, $600?
Like $600, but you got the Duo too.
Yeah,
you got the fancy one with a really good camera on it, with a really nice, perfect.
Can we not bring that back in? Like I just got over wanting one.
Well,
I was so close to grabbing one.
I'm rocking the Duo 1 right now, and that is, I think, my favorite setup for 3DS and DS. But my favorite setup for Tetris is the chicken handheld, which I think everyone named Russ should buy. And look at this. Look at this. It comes in a real chicken McNugget box. It does play Tetris, and it fits in the box. And here's the graphic that someone made with some questionable branding. And there's Grimace, and here you go. Wait, does it come with stickers? It might come with stickers?
Yep.
It does come with stickers? Yep. What? $23.66? That's better than any PowKiddy. And on the back, it has instructions in Chinese, but you could translate that so you knew how to play. It has a double down button on the top of the D-pad, and that's going to bring that block right down to the ground. So that's what you get for your money. And what's great, Russ, is that you can make a video on this in like 5 minutes. You don't need to do too much research.
You know how I make videos. It's no way I can do it in 5 minutes.
I bet for this,
that's 2 days worth of work right there.
2 days of work for this.
Every video.
There's no emulation showcase. There's one game.
Yeah.
No, he's gonna have to mod it.
Yeah.
I wonder who did that. Who put the time in to mod this thing, and what did they put in there?
Yeah, I
think that's what I would research probably.
Yeah.
There is a dude on Reddit who made this into a really cool handheld, and I don't even know where that is.
I saw Mario, and I was like, "How did you do that? Why did you do that?" But it's amazing. Yeah.
Because depending on the size of the shell, you could probably mod it with something pretty decent in there.
But I'm guessing the only thing left from the Nugget there is just the shell. Like I can't imagine they would even put a chip in there capable of playing Mario. Like there has to be something else in there. Unless for some reason it was just cheaper to get something way overpowered and just have it play Tetris.
Dude, even Ars Technica covered it here.
It must have been a
slow.
Look how big it is.
Come on.
Like,
I like the pouch.
is this an unboxing?
Yeah.
I haven't seen one of these before. Oh wow.
Yeah,
that's plastic.
Big.
That's
a lot bigger than I thought. But it does come with fun stickers. It does come with fun stickers. That's half the value. Where are you going to get those stickers? Walmart? No.
You could if your Walmart has McDonald's in it.
Well,
except not that one, unfortunately.
I'm gonna need the live chat
bigger
help
than the Miu Mini
on this one.
We could put a Miu Mini inside.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like maybe you could get a mini in there.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to just revisit this at the end of the show. Let's see.
I think this is prime content. I don't know what you guys are talking about. All right, we'll come back to it.
Yeah.
But I want to keep my beard, so I'm gonna be selling this one hard. Okay, so what else we got going on today? Oh, that's right, the RG Nano. That's not the RG. That's kind of a cool graphic that they added.
Yeah, they really stepped up their CG in this one.
They
have an actual commercial now. Like there's somebody walking around town.
Yeah, I mean, look at
see that.
See how many nanos fit in your hands? It's crazy.
No, there's another one. There was
hired somebody.
Oh yeah, the lady
there was one with the
there was this set of headphones in that video, by the way. This is Wild Lee's brand. What is it? Venture Electronics, the Nova. So I was like, hey, I know those headphones.
Yeah, they were huge for that.
I'm using the same ones.
Yeah, then they have this promo video as well. Of course, we have a freaking Switch ad.
Skip. That one.
You got to
Yeah.
get YouTube Premium.
Yeah, this is so random. I love it though.
It is.
This is like the perfect companion for your busy Hong Kong life.
I got to get like the right music for this.
I'm actually kind of interested in it as a music player. I hate taking my phone when I go out for a run. It's too big. So something like this might actually surprisingly be a good option.
Yeah. I hope that that keychain part is like removable, you know?
Yeah.
Like I don't want that on there.
Yeah, I agree.
I can't imagine
it looks
playing Game Boy
functional.
Advance on that thing.
Actually play something on it, which is nice. It's not so small that
Yeah.
it's not usable.
I think software-wise, it's going to be great. You know, it's got the funky operating system on it. I'm assuming
Yeah.
same chip and everything as well. That runs fine. You know, the biggest problem I always had with the Funky S was the controls were just a little too small, and then the screen was too small. It was a 1-inch screen. So this is like 1.5 inches, 0.54,
Yeah.
I think. So it's going to be, you know, 50% larger. I think it's a good overall like compromise size. Yeah,
That
I'm
aspect
looking
ratio
forward to
looks
it.
I think so.
interesting, too.
It looks like a 1-to-1. When I was doing
Yeah,
the
it's 1-to-1,
the
yeah.
promos, I noticed that the screen looks tall, but I think it's just the bezels. I
Yeah.
think it might be like the same as a Game Boy screen.
It is a 1x1
Yeah.
because that's what the Funky was, and so I'm assuming they're just using the exact same software. They're just pulling it because it's available on GitHub. It's open source, and so same thing with the Q36 that PowKiddy made, which also had the same one, but they kept that smaller screen, and that's what I didn't like about that one. And so honestly, this is like the step in the right direction where it's just a little bit bigger, and I'm a little worried about it being metal. I think it's going to get scratched up, especially it's supposed to be something you throw in your pocket. And then I think it's going to be expensive for what it does. So
Yeah, I agree.
we'll see.
It's
Yeah,
the 280V on a diet.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the Funky S Q36 in a new form factor. I do like the red one and the blue one. I'm not sure about what is that, a purple? Like a dark
It looks like
purple?
the purple
dark purple.
using like on the 353M. Looks very similar to that.
I think that one actually looks pink when, like in the video when I was seeing it. It's not. I don't think it's red.
Oh, this one on the left, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see. I could pull that back up.
The nice thing about the Funky S OS is that they have a bunch of ports that they were working on. So a lot of like the old school RG350 devs were involved in creating the Funky S operating system. And so they ported a bunch of the old classics. So Super Mario
we go.
64, like all those old ones are already ported over, and you can find the dev files and whatnot within the GitHub already. And so it's just a matter of putting in your game data files like it used to be back in the day. And so in addition to being able to play up to PS1, it should be able to play a lot of ports as well.
Didn't they say this was
cool.
only going to be up to GBA?
I don't know if they said that.
I would not
The
play
Funky
GBA
can
on that
play
system.
PS2.
Yeah.
So.
Doesn't it have
Like-
an OLED screen? Does it not?
I don't know.
Let me pull up the specs on this thing.
I always get it mixed up with the other micros.
Yeah, I think it's an IPS laminator.
Yeah.
I don't think it's.
Yeah, it would probably be too cost prohibitive to do that.
I mean, knowing that it's going to be that powerful, I'm actually way more excited for it now. Because for some reason, I was stuck on the idea that it was only going to go up to GBA, and even
No,
for that, I thought, I mean, it'll be nice for
play
Game
PS,
Boy.
it'll play PS1.
Yeah.
Really,
The
I
problem
don't.
is
Like,
I don't know if you're going to want to because of the text.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not
I'd
going to play
probably
a Final
just play
Fantasy
Game
VII.
Boy
Stubbs would be really cool in that thing, just because of the I like the aspect ratio. That would be fun. But yeah, I mean,
Pico
again,
8.
it's a small screen, so I'm already bad at shmups. I don't know how well I would do with that.
Just
Yeah,
Game
I
Boy and
wonder if
Pico 8.
8 works for it.
You know what does have an OLED screen is, and guess what I found, guys, this week? I found my Thumbie. My green.
You found it, yeah, because it's chances losing it all the time.
Yeah, it says something about the size.
It's true.
Why?
It's a little too small, but this has a tiny OLED screen. Come on, camera bokeh effect. Zoom in on this.
You need to get one of those things like the Game Boy had, where you would put it in, and it's a giant magnifying glass, and it has buttons that you put on top of the Game Boy buttons for that thing. That would make it perfect.
Yeah. Let's do some mods to it. That's what I want to see. I am going to do a video on that at some point. I don't know.
Like I was
Someday.
messing around with a Puppet Sprite, and I mean that thing has a really tiny screen, and it's just yeah. You
That
really
one's
can't-
OLED
can't
too,
change
isn't it?
on
That's an OLED screen
think so.
on the
I'm not
Pocket
sure.
Sprite. I think that's one of the.
It's pretty old, so I don't know if they had an OLED on that.
I just
it's
assume
a pretty
everything
old
under.
device.
I assume everything under 3 inches is OLED. I guess. I don't know why. So RG Nano is going to be here any time. They put up a store page for what was it, like 20 hours, and you could click there, and it would say the price was free. but it was sold out. And everyone's making the joke, "Oh, of course it's sold out. It's free." And everyone thought that it was free and that it's sold out apparently. So the whole
Ultimate
thing on
dad joke.
Reddit,
Page down though, right? Because I can't find it anymore.
now the page is gone. Yeah, exactly. And so that makes me think that they probably aren't ready to take orders yet, obviously. So they're maybe delaying a week. Because when I saw that page go up and I saw the promo video go out, I figured we were going to get review units probably by today. But so far, nothing.
I haven't heard anything.
I'm guessing, and I've asked our rep there what the timeline is, and I haven't heard back. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm still guessing in the next week or two, but we'll see.
240 by 240.
Yeah, so think of it like the old school RG350 screen, which was 320 by 240.
Yeah.
So this is like the same height pixels but chopped, and because it's a 1:1 aspect ratio. And so, yeah, not the best. It's not gonna scale very well for most of these systems. So bilinear filtering, things like that are gonna be important. Which on a small screen is gonna make things blurry, and it's gonna be a rough experience. It's not gonna be super crisp and clear like a Mio Mini or something like that.
Yeah. I think really like this is like Game Boy Color. That's maybe about it. Just because of that 1:1 aspect ratio is really, it's tough to work with that,
Right.
I mean, it's going to be great for Pico 8. That's
what I was saying. But
was Russ asking if they have a Pico 8 on the Funky OS? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I have to look it up.
Because it seems like it'd be perfect for something like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I mean, 240 by 240 is an interesting resolution. I think, again, old Game Boy games, like you guys were saying, will be good.
Mm-hmm.
At PlayStation,
Game Boy Advance.
It's a novelty. It's a novelty for PlayStation. Playing Tony Hawk on such a tiny screen is kind of cool, but it might not be ideal. Viola Man, thank you so much, by the way, and I hope that satisfies your comment there. So we love the fact that it's coming, and Anbernic is entering the micro wars or something. But I wonder what's going on with the Win 701. The Win 701 is really the next handheld I'm looking forward to from them. And the Nano is a nice stop along the way, and I'll probably have a few of them, as I do. But what do you guys feel? Is this one you're actually picking up? Beyond review.
About the RG Nano or the
Nano,
the
RG
701?
Nano.
Yeah, this is one that I know I'm probably going to get a review unit, but I think this is one I would buy anyway, just to test it out and see.
I think at the right price, I would too.
What do you guys think the price is going to land on?
$60 shipped. I'm guessing in the first 48 hours. And I'm guessing
it's going to be a tough sell.
$70.
That's
I was going to say $70
after.
is probably what I would expect it to be.
Yeah,
that's even harder. Yeah, that's.
I think it's going to end up at 70.
Especially when you think about what's in that price range, it's just that's tough. Yeah.
They're not going to do 70 plus shipping. Like if you're paying $80, that's just not. I'm sure it's going to be 60 plus shipping.
I just don't like the metal thing. I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like it's like with the RG405M. It's like, why is it so expensive? Oh, because the metal. Okay, can you make one without metal? Oh no, here's our next one. It's made out of metal. Like,
what are we doing here?
People are complaining about the price of this. That it's $10, $20 more than it should be, and then they say it's the metal that causes the issue. Well, then can we get a plastic one, please?
This is a plastic one. Apparently.
I would love a 405 just plastic with the D-pad and the stick switch. Like I don't mind the stick and D-pad placement so much in the 405M, but I wouldn't prefer it.
Yeah.
So did you pay $2 to get your comment shown on the screen? What does this button do?
How old is Zoo again? Are we sure he's actually in his 40s?
No one really knows.
He's on the decline.
It seems like a grandpa move right there.
Mentally.
Do you guys remember the scene in The Little Rascals where the two kids stand on top of each other and put on fake facial hair?
Yeah.
That's Zoo most of the time.
There's Gary beneath and then those little Zoo on top.
Kids.
Yeah, it's just two kids.
Just a couple kids
They
in a trench
spend too
coat.
much time on 4chan.
Yeah, Zoo.
Oh,
boy.
I've been catching up on my Zoo videos too. I watched what was his last one that he did? I forgot already.
Oh no. Oh,
comparison of
review
the,
the comparison.
35X.
Oh yeah. That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that video. That was
That
fun.
was good.
Broke
I
the
can't help
fourth
but
wall.
imagine like what people are thinking when they see this Gary guy come up on the screen. They're like, "What's wrong with this guy? What is he talking about?"
You know, it's funny. It's not even something he developed or a character or anything like that. Was there from day. Gary was there from day one.
Yeah.
Like day one of Zoo's content. I never asked questions about it, and here we are, and it's carried through. And I like the evolution of Gary. I want to see Gary through the years eventually. Not only Gary though. I want to know about when is our Loki review video coming, Russ? When are we going to watch your?
So they sent me one last
Video.
week, and then they intercepted it in the mail and said there's a software issue. We have to recall it.
Oh.
So I don't know where it was in the spectrum of things. I don't know if they'd give me a tracking number, and so I think they had actually. But anyway, either way,
Yeah.
they intercepted it and got it sent back, and they said they'll send me another one ASAP. Who knows when that's actually going to be? You know, we're talking AYN timeline, so that means 6 months from now. You know. So I don't know.
They promised.
We might get
promised
Loki
to ship.
season 2 before we get the AYN Loki.
It's true. They had promised to ship by the end of May 31st. They were shipping consumer units, and I'm guessing that hasn't happened, as far as we know. Okay.
I've pre-ordered every single model that they've, even the ones that they canceled. I pre-ordered all of them, and so they've got a couple thousand of my dollars right now, just kind of sitting on it, and they have for a year at this point.
Did you get
It
your
is
money
what it
back
is.
though for the canceled ones?
For the canceled ones, yeah, I used one to upgrade to a different one. I did get some money
Okay.
back. The thing is
Okay.
with about this, and I don't know if now is the right time to talk about it, but
It's fine.
remember when did the Win 600 come out? Like that was
Last summer.
a year ago.
Yeah.
It was
so
a
it's
year
been a
ago.
year, right?
Yeah.
And what was the prevailing thought at the time was that the Loki and the Air Plus were going to basically dominate and take over, and so you can't waste your money on the Win 600 because
Right.
very very soon you're going to be in these other ones that are so much better and everything else, right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the suckers who bought the Win 600 have been playing a device for a year straight.
That's not bad.
And
It's true.
right, it's pretty bad. The single channel
ergonomics.
RAM and,
I mean,
and the ergonomics were pretty
they-
bad on the Win 600. Like
but
I
they've been-
still didn't like that.
I know.
But it's a year of gameplay,
Your gameplay.
and everybody was just such a big hater. I mean, I made, I don't know, 3 or 4 videos about the Win 600, just trying to make it redeemable, right? Fixing the software on it, trying to get just the best performance at like low watt TDPs and stuff. And I just remember all of the comments about like, you're wasting your time. I can't believe you're deceiving people by making them think this is the only Windows handheld available when you've got these other ones. And I'm like, those are PowerPoint slides. And I have the Air Plus. I'm going to do a review on it on Sunday, right? So it's coming out Sunday. And that's the i3, the cheap version, right? I got a whole segment planned of how I'm going to talk about like what was supposed to be and how it was, you know. So anyway.
Yeah, I
think
actually
you
started my
started-
channel on the Win 600.
Oh.
Like, I was just
That's
making
true.
videos showing what you could do with the device.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
you know,
know.
it was definitely underpowered, but I wanted people to see what you could do. And yeah,
It's
I mean,
still
like when
cool
you're talking about
to
the
have like a
Loki Zero.
handheld for a few $100 where you can play Windows games on it. Even if they have to be like D-pad centric games or all the other things you have to do, it's the first
Exactly.
one that could play like Wii U emulation, right? At that price point. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I know.
Steam
And,
OS and all that.
It's also the only one you could get. The
Right.
Steam Deck was still, the waiting list was huge.
Right.
If you wanted a Windows handheld, you were going to pay over $1,000 for something, and then Anbernic comes in, and it was available. So
Right.
and
Yeah.
it wasn't great, but it was very surprising how much you could do with it.
Yeah, I
Especially
think people
because-
really
yeah.
underestimated what you could do
Yeah.
with it. Yeah, I mean, because even on the emulation side, I mean, again, I was doing like up to Wii U. I even got like very light PlayStation 3 games running on that, which
Right.
I mean,
I
given
remember,
the
yeah.
chipset is crazy. Like that's
Yeah.
you know, if you
Yeah.
like to tinker, it was a good handheld for that. I mean, it's obviously
Yeah.
not like Steam OS and things like that with the Steam Deck, but
If
still
you
fun.
if you put on a couple of these like Skull and Co caps or whatever,
Yeah.
and raise the profile
it
of the
helped a lot.
joysticks,
It helped a lot.
it
yeah.
did help a lot. I
Yeah.
did enjoy like Portal. I played Portal a bit on there, and it wasn't terrible. And I really liked it for PS1 content. For some reason, the controls for PS1 games were good. I
It had
remember
really
playing
good
through
buttons.
Noah.
It did,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
D-pad was
chips were
really good
great,
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things about that Win 600, and I get it, you know. And one of the arguments I remember, like the things I do, what I like, what I don't like. One of the things I put on there, what I like, is that it's available, you know. And here we
It is
are a year
available.
later, It's the only thing it's got going still, you know, like over everything else. It's pretty amazing. So
I was kind of hoping to see Anbernic kind of drop the price just a little bit on it, you know, kind of get down to that Loki Zero price and just say, hey, you know what? We now dominate this $250 price space, you know. And that would have been really cool to see for the Win600.
I've seen it go down to that in on Ali sometimes. You can find a pretty decent deal on it. I mean, not if you compare it to the Steam Deck, no, but companies can't really do what the Steam Deck is doing. So it's kind of it's unfair, but it is what it is. You have to make that comparison. But still, I've seen it go for around that price. And I was going to say, if anything, it should be even better now that it has EmuDeck support. So you don't even have to worry about setting any other stuff up. It's just those sticks, man. I don't know why they put him out like that. That was the one thing I don't understand. I don't know who did that. It
was a poor decision. And if you've seen some of the mock-ups for the 701, they looks like they fixed that, and so I'm excited for that.
With the 701, from what I've heard, is that production is on hold on that right now, just because you have the ROG Ally coming in, and there's a lot of competition in that space. So I think they're kind of waiting to see what happens in that space. It's just it's too packed right now, I think, and so they're I don't think they're producing the 701 just yet. So they're kind of
take that shell.
I get it.
And put the D1200 in there.
Yeah,
that's all they have to do. Just take that shell, put a powerful chip in there for Android, and just release an Android handheld.
Oh yeah, a really power efficient Dimensity 1200 Android handheld.
Because the design looks pretty good. It looks like it's basically like the Win600-ish shape to it, but they took the changes they've made on like the 405, where the sticks are a little bit more in, the buttons are a little bit more out, so it just looks more ergonomic. So just put a good chip in there for Android and give us that.
Yeah.
We kind of need something like that,
there's still a huge market for a $299 small Windows handheld. You know what I mean? And
100%.
I don't understand why Loki or IOIN is focusing on the Loki Max. Like nobody wants another 6800U at this point. Like
not now.
The segment where there's a missing piece is that low budget, and budget, you know, $299, but still a $299 handheld like Windows machine is still a pretty cool idea. And there's a lot of people out there who want to play like visual novels or just like indie games and whatnot. And you'll see in my Air Plus review that this is that device, just not at the right price. So
what's the battery life like on that one?
It's great. Like, so
really,
we're looking at
an INEO handheld, great battery life.
Yeah, 5-6 hours for normal gameplay. Like when you're around 8-watt TDP, which will play.
i3 is very efficient. It's quite good.
It only goes up to 15 watts total anyway. So even at worst, I'm still doing battery testing, but worst case scenario, we're still looking at like 2.5-3 hours. That's just a guess. I'm still doing testing on it, but
I mean, based on
really bummed they canceled some of those SKUs on the AYN side. I was really looking forward to seeing some more of the budget APUs getting into some of these devices. It would have been nice to see.
So this is the Air Plus, you said, i3 model?
Air Plus i3 model, which is like $500 or $600. Like it's way too expensive.
Just
they made it like it's more expensive than the Steam Deck, and is so much worse than the Steam Deck in terms of performance. Like all you're doing is paying a premium for size at that point. It's it.
Yeah.
So.
Oops.
I hope that some of these companies are learning from some lessons from this stuff, from not announcing things too early, not announcing pricing too early, because that's the problem. They kind of set the precedent by saying this was going to come in at a certain price point, and I knew they were never going to be able to deliver at that $269 price that they were trying to target. There's no way. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about big OEM manufacturers that can't even come in at that price for a laptop. So it's like, how would they pull it off? So I kind of knew that was going to be $500-$600 for one of those, and it's a tough sell at that price point. There's just too much competition in that space.
They kind of have to, though, at this point, because if you don't, somebody else is going to do it. Their only real way of keeping people from buying what's available right now is to create that hype. So they kind of have to do it, and unfortunately, that leads you go in circles because you have to do it, you can't do it, but the next person just has to do the same thing. If not, everybody's just going to go buy the one that's available and think, oh, there's nothing coming. So they have to tell you, hey, we've got this coming, it's ready, we're going to ship in a week, and it's going to be this price, and then it's not. But what else are they going to do, really?
I know,
right?
Well, that's the thing. Like long term, I wonder how relevant these companies are going to be, like AYN and INEO, because again, you have companies like Asus stepping into the space. That's a big deal, and you have to think that some other big OEMs are going to probably step into that space as well. especially after Asus coming in. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. The Windows market is definitely heating up.
Yeah, and I mean, what's to stop us from buying this 7320U? And that's even cheaper, $500.
Yeah, right now it's just that Mendocino chip's super hard to get a hold of, and so because of that, like they can't even send me a review unit right now, and so who knows what kind of performance you're going to get on that, and so yeah, that one's more of a wait and see, honestly.
Okay, but if you want to take the gamble, you could save a little money there, but not.
Mendocino's pretty capable. I did a full video, 2 videos on the Athlon version of that, which is the 78220U, and was very impressed with what it could do at lower TDP. It was really nice to see. And again, I would have loved to have seen that in a like sub $400 handheld. I think that would have been perfect for that, but I don't think we're going to get it from anybody. So unfortunately, it's just a dream at this point.
Well, what about battery life on this i3 versus the Mendocino? You think the battery life is going to be better on the Intel?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. Like, I mean, I don't want to give too many spoilers.
I know.
This one runs at the minimum of 5 watts, like at the lowest. But at 5 watts, you can only play Game Boy and NES games. Like, you can't even play Sega Genesis at 5 watts. You have to go up to 8 watts.
Really?
Because it just cannot handle that low of a power profile. So you have to do 8 watts at least. Okay. And if you want to play anything decent, you got to do about 12 watts. That's going to be like PS2 and GameCube. Okay. And at that point, the handheld gets a little warm, and it's not pleasant. And so 15 watts is the max. That's what you're going to want to do if you want to play PS3 or Wii U. And they work well. Not PS3, not 3D games, but most of the other. I can play Breath of the Wild at 30 frames per second on Wii U. But again, 15 watts is pretty toasty in your hands. So
yeah,
it seems like a lot of these handhelds need that 15 watts or so to really get any real performance out. And that's what I would love to see.
Like that, it gets pretty hot.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and also I know that some of these SKUs have really glossy shells, and that turns me off as well. Which, did you get a glossy or a matte shell?
Mine's matte. Yeah.
Nice.
It's only one color option available. It's like a nice light blue. It doesn't look bad at all.
It's this one here?
Mm-hmm. It's glacier blue.
Okay, nice.
That one, exact one. Yeah.
Cool.
This just makes me think how ridiculous the Steam Deck is. And I hate to keep going back to that one. It's just what that thing can do at low TDPs, like the games that you can play on it. And we all say how bad the battery life is, but when you're playing those lighter games, you're going to get a lot of battery life.
Yeah.
It's not fair for these companies because they look great.
Yeah, like so for example, with ROG Ally, they're like, they've made so many updates over the past couple weeks where they've updated the firmware and whatnot, and it keeps getting better and better. And they're like, hey, you know what? We've been focusing on the high watt TDP. Let's now focus on low watt. Like they haven't even gotten to it yet, right? No. When INEO ships this, I don't expect any sort of developments for that device that are going to make it better. Like, I just can't expect that. They don't have the in-house... Like, they're already working on the next 3 that they're already working on.
Seriously. Yeah, that's the other thing, too. Having something like Asus, they're going to really throw a lot of support behind this product.
Right.
They have setup stations in a Best Buy. I've seen videos of people actually touring it in a Best Buy, so they're going to really put everything they can behind this product. I mean, the fact that it hasn't even launched yet for consumers, and they're taking the feedback from reviewers and going behind the scenes and updating the firmware, really focusing on the things where they can improve the software experience, really shows how committed they are to have this launch as a good product. And again, that's why I would say I don't know how relevant some of these companies are going to be long term if you have more competitors like Asus stepping into the space.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for AYN, but
sorry.
No, I was saying the one thing they have going for them, though, is that they have the Odin under their belt, which is a beloved device, an awesome device, despite all the issues with shipping and delays and all this. Like, the Odin Pro is an awesome handheld, and Shem was saying this on our show a few weeks back. And so that's why the Loki might be just an awesome choice. I don't know. But they need to actually ship it and get it out to reviewers and get it out to the general public, and people need to see what it can do. And some of the lower SKUs on this might still be good for the price. The Mini Pro is like $200, $300. The Loki Zero is $200. Plus shipping might still beat out the Ally for some people. I don't know.
The size is extremely appealing.
Yeah,
It is.
the size. Yeah.
In my opinion, I wish that when they had cut all of the ones that they cut earlier in the month or whatever, that they had cut more. Like they had just said, you know what, let's just make 1 or 2 and really focus on those, right?
Yeah.
There's no multiple Steam Decks other than storage size and little things and whatever. And I think that really works in Valve's favor because they're only working on one device right now. I can't imagine that AYN has the attention to be able to spend on each of these different serial models and different chipsets. All those things are just way complicated. And so I would have loved to have just seen, one, they're like, this is the Loki, and this is what it can do, kind of thing.
Well, yeah, and we're looking forward to seeing it. I think people are anxious to know if they should cancel their orders right now or not. I still have an order in for the Max right now, and what else? And an Odin Pro I ordered along with it because I don't have an Odin anymore. So I miss my Odin. So I actually have one on the way.
I would tell people not to cancel it.
Yeah.
If you already have the order, just wait it out.
Wait it out.
Yeah.
Also, I know some people had like coupons too, which made the price lower than what it's actually listed on the website. So that does make it still appealing at the price point.
Yeah. Nope. Agreed. So let's move on here. The Retro Pixel Pocket has been shipping out to people. They opened pre-orders for like 2 hours or something, and then they sold out, and they had a second wave of pre-orders for another few hours. Those sold out, and it's not the fun green color that people saw in the promo material. It ended up being this sort of gray, just all gray unit, which for me, pretty boring looking, but it's a Game Boy Pocket shell, so you should be able to swap it out with general Game Boy Pocket, shells on Etsy or eBay and make yourself a more interesting looking device. But that's not the problem. The problem is that it's shipping and people are getting it, like Mako and other YouTubers, and they're showing that the buttons have issues. They're really hard to press down. They don't feel good. The screen looks decent, pretty good, and there's issues with the software all over. Which is funny because Funny Playing, who makes this, makes Game Boy modding stuff like as their main business.
Yeah.
And they do really good stuff. So how would you flub this? So today there was a new video out from another YouTuber who showed the buttons were working fine. So maybe it's limited to the first batch. Maybe it's not widespread. I don't know. What do you guys feel about this one?
So my unit actually came in literally right before this live stream, and the first thing I did was
Wait,
unbox it. Yeah,
what?
I unboxed it.
What?
And
tell us.
Went into Gamepad Tester to see what was going on there, and for sure, it is not registering inputs correctly. Yeah, it's really weird. Even just scrolling through the menu, I was pressing down, and I would have to do it multiple times for it to actually scroll down to the next level. So there's definitely something weird going on there. Yeah, I don't know.
That's some
I
PowKiddy.
literally just turned it on and went straight into one app, so I don't want to say anything beyond that, but
I get it.
Yeah.
It uses membranes, right?
I think so. I gotta take it apart and take a look at what's going on under the hood.
Does it feel hard to press them down, or does it just not register?
It's just not registering. It's weird. Like it presses
probably a
down
software
fine.
thing.
It feels nice. Like it feels like it should be working properly, but I feel like there's probably some kind of contact issue there. I don't know what's going on. Maybe with the PCB or something, but
did they rush it? Did it feel like they rushed it maybe?
The outer box itself has a 2022 stamp on it in terms of the year. It's like
really?
So they had time. This definitely got delayed. Something happened with this thing.
They had time.
Well, we thought that this was going to be canceled too, right? I mean, just kind of
we did.
Dropped out of nowhere.
We were doing an announcement because Jetleys had said like for sure it's dead, it's done. And then a few days later, all of a sudden pre-orders went live without any notice at all. Luckily, a few of us got orders in. I think I should get mine I'm guessing tomorrow or the next day because I ordered the same time as you, Rob. But
yeah, here it is. I'm like,
oh yeah, I was gonna.
Yeah.
Let's see that bad boy.
Yeah, so
it has a 1:1 aspect ratio as well.
Yeah, it's a 1:1. Yep.
Pico 8.
It's got a nice.
Pico 8.
What is it? 720 by 720, I believe. So that's pretty nice. Yeah.
It'll be our Pico 8 machine, and the processor in it can play up to PS1.
PSP,
PSP.
Yeah, PSP because they have the PPSP emulator
it's
in there.
Preloaded in there. Yeah.
Really?
I'm definitely gonna mess around with Android on the back end.
I think someone said it was about as powerful
the
as
back of that one.
RK3326.
Oh.
So The inspiration for this was the Game Boy Pocket, so it's almost a one-to-one replica of the Game Boy Pocket shell. There's even spots where you could see that it literally was ripped off from the Game Boy Pocket. Yeah.
Well, and so you can
on the side here.
Yeah, you can swap it for an actual Game Boy Pocket shell, right? Am I right in that?
Yeah,
I don't know about that, but yeah, Aish.
I saw a video of somebody actually doing a shell swap, but I don't think it was the buttons wouldn't work for the Game Boy Pocket. You only have 2 on that, and we need 4 for this one. But they do have other shells. Somebody did a shell swap with a yellow one, and it looks great. But they should feel the same as a Game Boy since they're pretty much Game Boy parts.
So I turned it back on from standby, and it's actually on. You can't see it, but there's the backlight's on, so it's not, I have to like hard shut it down.
It might end up being a software thing.
Well, I wonder why it has bezels like that on the sides but not on the top. Do you see that? There's just these side bezels. Why?
Here we go. So now I had to actually hard shut it down, but yeah, it's got a nice screen. I mean, I haven't really played anything on it just yet, but
yeah,
feels nice in the hand too. I really like the size of it. I mean, the size is really nice.
Does it feel? Is it analog pocket sized, or it's got to be a little smaller than that?
It's smaller, yeah.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be the same size as the Game Boy Pocket, right?
Mm-hmm. It's pretty much almost a 1-to-1 to the Game Boy Pocket. It literally is what they ripped it off of. So here, let me go into Gamepad test. They probably shouldn't have had this preloaded because. So let's see if I can try to.
And the Pocket was $70. Was that right?
So you can see that I'm pressing it, and so I got one register. There's another one. Yeah, it's pretty.
No.
You haven't opened it up yet, have you?
Yeah, so B seems to be pretty good. You can see it lighting up on the screen, so that's all right. But then go into A, see how I'm pressing it and nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so see, you got to really press down hard on it. So it could be a membrane issue where it's just not making contact with the PCB.
But you'd think they would test this, right?
I don't know what they've been doing. And then pressing down, I noticed this was also an issue. See, so I'm pressing down here, it's not registering, but if I press really hard, it will start to light up, or maybe not. I can't tell.
Oh,
that's game breaking.
And it's a bummer. It's a bummer because I love the size, I love the screen, I like what I see so far, and it's a shame. I mean,
that's some Data Frog level jank right there.
No,
I'm gonna take it apart and take a look at it and see what's going on. It's just, I'm a little bit upset about it.
You know what doesn't have that?
Bummer.
The McNugget handheld.
Yeah, that's right. That's why Russ should buy it.
Exactly.
Well, did you even get the Retro Pixel Pocket? Did you happen to get an order in?
That one? Yeah, I ordered one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it's shipped too. I don't know. I get so many of these. Your order has been shipped emails. I have no idea what's coming every day.
Not sure. It'll show up at some point, and it'll.
So were people getting them from the second batch? Because I know they sold out that first batch, then it was back in stock again, and then I guess that sold out as well. So were people getting it from the second batch, or because I ordered it pretty much when I saw it go live, and that was the first batch.
Yeah, the video I saw during first batch, so that's when I got mine.
Yeah.
The video I saw of somebody using it and doing the shell swap and all, there were no issues with the buttons there. So I don't. Okay. It might be like you might have some bad units, and some that are working fine, which is weird because they should all be made the same way.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I really want to take a look under the hood and see what's going on there, because
we can make this better. The community's going to make this one better.
Get Linux on there.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Android was a weird choice. I know that was a weird choice for this device.
And I love Android. I'll take Android every time,
yeah.
But no touchscreen, no need for it.
Yeah, I agree.
You're gonna play Game Boy games on there, like why?
Yeah, you're gonna load on a front end, and then set that as your launcher for boot up, and then you're gonna call it good. That's what we did with the Retroid Pocket 2. Didn't have a touchscreen.
So it's basically the screen. I don't know if you can tell, but it's flickering. You see how it's.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Here.
Yeah, I think the software for sure is half baked. It's not good. It's not looking good.
It's true. And Roof Pooper had a pre-production model that had that awesome lime green, and his seems to work okay, right? His has been pretty good. So It's weird.
So I don't have the box
pre-production
with me
model's
here.
better.
I have it in the other room where I film, and on the package itself, it had like 6 to 8 different colorways. So they definitely have plans to release other colors for sure. And then of course the same marketing where they say you could swap shells and do all that stuff, which makes sense because it's funny playing. But right now it's just gray. That's all that they're selling. So, and I mean it's not a bad looking color. I mean I think it's quite attractive actually, and it doesn't pick up fingerprints, so that's nice.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a point in their favor.
Again, like if all these other issues persist, that kind of kills the device. So it's tough, you know.
Yeah, we'll see. We will see, everybody. What else we got? Do you guys know what's in the RGB10 Max? I heard there's a 3566 in there.
I've heard it's better than that.
It's better than that.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too.
Really?
But not the 3588S or whatever.
No.
The
really.
one.
And it's not a T618 either.
Really? It's not a
all I know.
T618.
No.
Spicy.
I hope we never get another T618 device. I'm so done with that. I can't.
Yeah.
So
You know we're
It's
gonna
a
get
warm,
one.
cozy
kind of-
blanket at this
kind
time.
of-
it's
We still
No,
don't
no,
have
no,
a
no.
vertical
T618.
T618.
no,
We
no.
need, yeah, we need
Give me
the vertical
ideas.
T618.
The
Yes.
3326 was the comfy blanket line. I think the T618
it's
is
layers. You've got one layer.
Yeah.
That's a sheet.
It's
now,
a hot.
right now. You got the
Six-
comfy blanket.
The 618 gets so hot. It's not a comfy blanket, it's an uncomfortable blanket.
I would
think that's
still
why
like a
Retroid doesn't make
plastic
the metal one.
RG405M.
Yeah, definitely.
Same. Yeah. 405V. Yeah, that's
Somebody was asking about the metal RP3 Plus. I think that's why they haven't done it. It gets too hot.
Oh, and the Pixel Pocket is up to $100 now, I guess. Huh.
No, that's
No.
pretty steep for that. Yeah.
That is way too steep. So they have a bunch of QC issues and then raise the price $20, $30. Fantastic.
Well, they need
Very
the money
good.
to fix it.
True.
Yeah.
All right. Now, not only this. Oh, and James Duett's the kind of
not a
the
30.
Western rep for PowKiddy lately. Not a 3588. What is it, James? It's a Linux CPU, better than 3566, not a T618. Weren't we the ones reporting it was the 3566 not but a week ago?
I don't know.
No,
All I
that's
know is that
that's
it
the
wasn't
flip.
a
That's the flip. You're thinking
The
about
flip
the,
is
the,
yeah.
the
Oh,
media flip.
okay.
Yeah.
Has 30
Oh, right,
Yeah,
right,
that one
right,
has
right.
that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to know what this mystery chip is. James, keep us apprised of
I'm
of
glad
that.
to know it's Linux because PowKiddy cannot do Android. Yeah,
Very
that's
true.
I'm very
They
happy.
tried
with that.
X18S.
Yeah.
They they did their best, man.
I mean, it's
So-
a T618, but it's not really. Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. I know. So what about this?
Why do
what
they
about
have
this-
to go back to shoulder? Sorry,
I don't
inline shoulder
know.
buttons. Before we
I
move
don't
on,
know.
just why the shoulder
Why is
buttons? Why?
You're so concerned about this right now. It's everyone gets upset about the shoulder buttons. That's the last thing I ever focus on devices. I don't know why. Is it really that big of a deal?
The X55. I mean, that thing had.
Well, that's just
That was like banging on a taiko drum.
But that's the thing.
ridiculous.
They've
Yeah,
done.
but
They
this thing is
do
loud.
stacked buttons. A lot of their handhelds have
Listen to that.
stacked buttons.
Yeah,
really
especially
concerned
because the
about this.
Max 1 had inline and then the Max 2
Oh, yeah.
had stacked, right? So why did they revert back?
Exactly. It's just no.
Yeah.
And they actually, I mean, in general, PowKiddy buttons feel good. I don't know why the X55 won't sound like that, but generally they're good buttons. So
Yeah.
it's kind of weird that they did that, and it was my problem with most Anbernic handhelds. I usually love the buttons. I don't like the inline buttons. They're just not comfortable to use. So
Yeah.
seeing this with that kind of killed it a little bit for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything bigger than like the 405M, I don't like the inline shoulder buttons. I don't mind on
Yeah.
the 405M because it makes it pocketable, and
Yeah.
it's easy to reach. But after that, yeah, I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yuzu is on Android.
Yeah, did a video on it.
I saw that video, and that was really good because that saved me time because I was about to do a video on that on the Edge, and I'm like, nope, I'm just gonna
Yeah,
skip
not worth it right now.
Not worth it right now at all. And people released a APK today of
Rob,
Sorry, Zoo.
I had a tab open.
What happened?
A Stubbs moment. That's what happened.
What did I do? Oh no. I'm concerned.
It's all right. I don't think anyone noticed.
Okay. I hope I didn't do another something horrible. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry, everybody.
No badonks on screen.
Did I show badonk? I don't have any badonk.
No, that's from before.
No, that's from last time.
Did, yeah.
Oh.
The GPD drawing, yeah.
Right. I'm very confused right now.
It's okay. We all
okay. All right. We'll get through this. Yuzu on Android. Blah 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 blah. Russ did a cool video on it. Watch the video. But not only that, it's on Odin apparently. Someone released an APK in the community today, and you can install a turnip driver and Adreno driver, whatever, all those drivers, and it does run not well. Probably about as well as the Razer Edge, but probably worse. So before Yuzu was tied to being on Android 11, you got to have an 865 chip or better. But now I saw people are running it on the 855. Like, what's the
they just recommended the 865. Like, so it was prohibiting you, like it was preventing you from being able to install it on Android 10. So I couldn't get it to work on the Pimax portal or the Odin at all. Like, it just said no, doesn't work, and it said it had a parsing error. Now, but you could do it on like slower firmware as long as it was running Android 11, and so that's where that comes in. So yeah, people can try it on other, that's why like the Odin, right, 845 or whatever. Yeah. But the big issue was the Android 11. Now I did see there's like a community Android 10 build. I hope this gets back to the Yuzu team, because I saw official communications from them, and they said, Android 10 would only work on like 3 games, is what they said. But it seemed like they hadn't really tested it thoroughly enough, and so they just kind of threw in there, it doesn't work on Android 10.
It might do better.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that they do open up and say Android 10. Yeah.
Well, Rob, you've been testing that as well, right?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of testing with Yuzu right now, and
on what handhelds?
Actually, not on the handheld. I've been doing it on the Red Magic 8 Pro. So I want to see on the high end what it can do. So Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, and it's cool because between Skyline and then Yuzu, you're kind of opening the door of more of that Switch library, which is kind of neat to see. I think it's just going to get a lot better as time goes on. I mean, this for a first release, it's definitely got a lot of bugs. I mean, I had a lot of games just crash on me. A lot of games have this weird issue where the textures are all black and you can't actually really see what's going on in game. But the potential's there. I was getting a lot of games with 60 frames per second or 30 frames per second, depending on the game, and
not bad.
I'm excited. I'm really excited that Yuzu's on Android. I can't wait to see where it goes.
I wonder if the drivers from Skyline would work on Yuzu.
I was testing around with different drivers, so definitely using one that was for the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. So
that's interesting.
I got my Odin here because you were mentioning the Odin. I haven't actually load it on here yet, though. Just to see what you can do. But I expect that, like,
I got home when he said that.
Yeah, same here. So I didn't have a chance to really do it. But I mean, I'd imagine something like Celeste, for example, should run. I mean, a lot of lighter or easier games should be able to emulate just fine. But
a lot of those already do run on Skyline, though. So.
That's the thing I was going to say. That we also have Skyline.
Might as well do Skyline.
Yeah.
So I even saw people getting like Metroid Dread running on the Odin. I never could. I never got it to work, but I saw videos of people actually playing Metroid Dread, Hollow Knight, a bunch of games on Odin using Skyline.
Well, I think that's great and everything, but you guys know that for $23.66, you can have a fully.
I fully do not expect you guys to shape your beards. That, right?
I know, man.
I'm not gonna hold you to that.
Somebody will, though.
But I will.
We're gonna get a comment on this for a long time now. If we don't.
We're gonna have to. I mean, look at the grimace, and there's stickers. So
that's an incredibly creepy image of Grimace.
He's just sitting there. I think he's eating. He's eating the swing that he's riding on.
I mean, he is creepy in general. But that just something doesn't vibe right.
That's not right. Look at the little McNugget riding.
Do you guys remember the show? Did everybody watch the McDonald's cartoon? Yeah, no, there was a McDonald's cartoon. Yeah,
there was a McDonald's cartoon.
McKids on TV.
You had a Hamburglar.
What's this little angry nugget doing on his? I never saw that.
First time I played N64, it wasn't at McDonald's.
Oh,
it was
no.
awesome.
I remember those units. Yeah, that's great.
They were disgusting. They were just, there was like ketchup and grease all over the controllers. But it was the first time I got to hold one, and I wanted one.
So bad. I remember getting like little LCD electronic handhelds with my Happy Meals back in the day. Like there was a Spyro one that was fun, and I think Tiger even had a deal where they were doing them for a while. The 90s were a time that I definitely miss.
They had good
Remember when
toys.
Burger King did the Xbox 360 games that they had?
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
King or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Those are cool, actually. Those are pretty fun.
They did Doritos games too on the Xbox Live Marketplace.
Yeah, the Burger King ones
that.
were easy to get achievements for. So I remember me and my buddies like
Yes.
all of them so we could get the achievements. Like when those points mattered back in the day.
They still, I mean, they still matter a bit.
Because we had GameFly. Do you guys remember GameFly? I think it's still around. It was like Netflix, but for games.
Yep.
And so we would rent like Avatar: The Last Airbender, King Kong, all these Xbox 360 games that were easy to get like 1,000 points on.
It was like NBA 2K9 or something. That
Yeah.
had like
Oh yeah. Yeah. There was that one, whatever, where everyone had to be online at the same time or whatever, and you could get an achievement for it. And yeah, it was a hectic time. That was 2006, 2007. That was awesome.
Those were good times, and that's also around the time that RetroArch started, right? Because unfortunately,
yeah, I think so.
You got.
Yeah, what's going on with that? I haven't read up on that just yet.
Is it back
what's
yet?
going on there?
they were going along for years, and then they got hacked finally in this year, 2023.
I think it's happened before.
Oh no! Well, in this instance, their website redirected to this discord.gg.
Oh, it's back.
This dude is big hacksaws, so that was not cool. I'm glad that it's back. I was a little worried.
Yeah, they
But,
messed with their download links for a while too. Like, so even the page was up, but it was redirecting to like MediaFire files, and so you could go into their repo and actually pull their nightly build still. But for people who were just going onto their webpage and saying, "Oh, download now" or whatever, they were getting screwed. So
Oh no.
they fixed all that now. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm really happy that they fixed it. RetroArch just multi-factor. You know, you guys are programmers over there. You know what to do. Just stop with the hacksaws.
I used to hate RetroArch.
Yeah,
When I
a lot of
first-
people do still to this day.
Yeah.
I
I was
mean,
all standalones. Like, no, I just
I
because
know.
the first
I
time I
used to
opened
be
up
that way.
RetroArch, yeah, I was like, "What is this? This is
Yeah.
weird. I can't get my games to play." I was frustrated, and I just stopped. And then I figured it out, and I was like, "Oh wow, I've been missing out."
Yeah, it's true. Having that
it's
unified
a skill that,
experience.
I think you just
Yeah.
have to learn at this point.
Mhm.
Someday there'll be a replacement, right? Something better, and then there's going to be a bunch of people on there. Well, I had to spend my time learning RetroArch, so why do these young bucks get to have this nice emulation experience without it? You know, like that.
There
whole
kind
thing.
of is now, isn't there? Lemeroid, I think it's called.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Kinda,
tested that a little bit, but
yeah.
I haven't really tried it. I put that on my Retroid Pocket Flip for my wife.
That's right,
So
yeah.
she's able to boot directly into Dr. Mario using Lemeroid because you can't do that with RetroArch, and so that was
Right.
pretty neat.
I remember seeing that on your video. Not only RetroArch was hacked, but also you guys see that Dolphin Steam, the Steam version, was taken down. What's Nintendo doing? Why won't they let anybody have any fun? They're just trying to kill emulation across the board.
That actually wasn't Nintendo. Not directly,
So
at
many
least.
layers.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, there's
Whoops.
definitely multiple layers going on.
Yeah.
What are we unpacking here? Dolphin Team got a DMCA though, right? From
No, they didn't.
They
So that
said
was
they
the
did
first thing
initially.
reported. Yeah, but that's not what actually happened.
Oh, Dolphin was using Nintendo's keys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
Yeah, cryptographic.
initially,
keys, yeah.
what it came down to was that Valve, so the deal had been in the works since April when they first announced it, that Dolphin was going to come to Steam, right? Like the way that RetroArch's on Steam kind of thing. And then Valve asked Nintendo, "Hey, are you guys good with this?" And then
No.
Nintendo said, "No, we're not, and this is why." And that's
Yeah.
where they came from. So it was
Stifles
not
innovation.
Nintendo being a predator and be like, "Oh, take it away." You know, Valve was like, "Okay, we'll take it off then."
Well, you have to. You can't blame people for thinking this, though, right? Because they
Yeah,
have
definitely.
been known to do
And no,
that.
it was
even-
reported initially too, though, that Nintendo did it.
That's
It
what I
wasn't. It
saw.
was later corrected, but no, the initial report was, Nintendo had Dolphin taken down and they should have DMCA, but no, there was a lot more going on there.
Yeah, it was the other way around. Yeah, Valve's the one that reached out to them to see
Yeah.
if it was okay.
Interesting.
And I mean,
And
of
again,
course,
Valve's
Nintendo's going to say
Valve's a
no.
company too, right? They're trying to
Yeah,
be above board,
exactly.
you know.
Yeah,
So I get it.
Exactly.
Which
Solid.
is it's pretty much just a minor inconvenience, really, because
I
if
agree.
you're using a Steam or a Steam Deck in this case, you're just gonna do it with MD Deck anyway. It's gonna set it
Right.
up for you. Like it's just
Right.
one step. not really that.
It
big
would
of
have
a
been,
deal.
yeah, it would have been cool to have like cloud saves, like have
Yeah,
that whole
yeah.
cloud library within Steam like that. But
Yes.
there are ways to do that. And really,
Yeah.
how many people are playing GameCube games across multiple platforms? Probably the people who know how to set up cloud saves.
Probably.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a huge loss. I mean, obviously, nothing changes. You can still get Dolphin directly from their website and install it and do it that way. Use EmuDeck if you're playing on a Steam Deck. So,
It's true.
it is what it is. I don't think it's the end of the world, honestly. And I can understand why Valve wanted to reach out to Nintendo to make sure that this is okay,
Yeah.
And if they really want to get it on there, they can just take the keys out and have people supply their own keys. Like if they really want to push it that way, and I think
there
it was
you
only
go.
for the Wii side. Not, like the GameCube side is fine. It's just
okay.
for Wii, so they could just do that. Hey, supply your own keys, and it's right there. I don't know if they'd want to, and I'm pretty sure Valve would be okay with that because, to me, Valve seems to be okay with emulation. Like they know what they're doing with the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Dolphin just as a team gets rid of the cryptographic keys anyway. And
They
then
really
says, yeah,
should.
you need to
They
supply
should.
your
Yeah.
own keys
Yeah,
now,
they should.
It'll
save
Just
them some trouble down the road.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. Because
there's just
now
little
they
things.
risk Nintendo looking closer at what they're doing in other avenues. So that
Which
is-
I'm sure they're aware of them. I'd be surprised if Nintendo didn't at least look at what Dolphin's been doing when they did the Mario collection for Switch, because they had to do emulators for each game to get it to run right.
Yeah.
And the best Wii and GameCube emulator are really the only one that's going to be Dolphin. So I'm sure they know about them. They were just probably at that point like, we're not going to do it.
Yeah.
But the way they've been behaving lately, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to go after them for that.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, so PSP, right? So there's the PPSSPP emulator. With that one, all you have to do is take your ISO and throw it in there, and everything works. But on RetroArch, who makes you supply your keys for everything, you have to download the assets separately. You have to go into Online Updater, PSP, and then actually download it. That's where you get your fonts and all these other things that are actually like Sony property. And so this is the same kind of thing. I don't think Sony cares about their fonts, right? But if they could come after that PSP emulator. I hope you're not watching Sony. But that's kind of that whole thing where Nintendo and the GameCube, it's a little bit, or the Wii, I should say, is just a little bit trickier just because of how crazy they are. So,
Well, Tim's feeling it right now. He's got the key. He's got the secret.
that's right. I mean, people are used to it now between, different, it's the Switch in particular, right? People are used to understanding how to dump keys and put that onto their emulators.
Well, one handheld that hasn't gotten a takedown or anything from Nintendo is or at least the company, Anbernic, and they released the 35XX. You guys know about that. But there's
Your
a new
segues are so
firmware.
good.
Huh?
Your segues are so good.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Thanks, man. I
He's
don't know
he's
what
a
I'm doing.
master.
Actually.
Yeah.
But we got to move things along because we're having fun, but we're like an hour and a half, and I still got a few things at least we want to talk about. But Koriki is a new. Am I pronouncing this right? Koriki?
Koriki.
Koriki.
Yeah.
I won't get that, but
Okay.
Koriki.
Koriki. It's the same one that they made for the Mew Mini. It's simple menu. It's the Atom custom firmware image. Same guys, right? But
yeah,
with
but
a
they're
couple added
accessing
people.
the GPU though. That's the
Yeah.
difference. So it's better on the 35XX than it was in the Mini in that aspect, right? Because it plays up to PSP, Dreamcast, Nintendo DS,
It's
and
insane
64.
it can do that.
Yeah. I haven't tested it yet, but that's super exciting. I just read about it this morning, but I've been working all day, so.
There's only a handful of games you would even want to play for like Dreamcast and all that, but just the fact that it can do it is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's
Play
true.
Power Stone, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the 35XX, and that's making that handheld just more of a ridiculous value. And the fact that it has a GPU that can be accessed. I mean, Batocera was awesome. It was nice that we had that option, but it had a really memory-heavy front end to it that limited really what you could do with PSP and higher emulation. So strip that out, give yourself simple menu, cool, whatever. Now we can actually do some really cool things for, what, $55 handheld? I saw Slick Deals had it the other day for $49.99.
That's crazy.
which
See, this is
was
where
crazy.
these companies are getting into trouble because they're starting to compete with themselves. I mean,
Yep.
the RG Nano's dropping, and the problem is whatever that comes in at price-wise, I think most are just going to want to pick up that RG 35XX because it's just it's a better deal, better value, So it is interesting to see that, the space on every price level is getting crowded.
even the 353 VS, right? Another Anbernic device. It's like, that's the thing with the 35XX. You're like, well, if you spend another $20, you get something that is so much more valuable in terms of just dual booting and all the other kind of things. So.
Yep.
Give us Wi-Fi. That's it. That's all.
That's all we need.
They would
I
have
put
to
it on
do,
par.
really. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aish,
Why do you
just
have the
hire a
V90
professional
video?
to solder one on for you.
Yeah.
Thanks, PowKiddy. That's the most. Oh my God.
That's the most
I can't believe they did that.
They publicly
We need
stated
to-
doing that too.
They did, yeah.
We need to. Hey, Russ, do you have your Red V90 on you, by the way?
No, I'm not. I'm in. the
Hey, yours is
studio.
looking
I'm
kind
not-
of red right now.
I don't
So
look like
what's
that.
going on there?
Yeah.
So-
So
Let me explain where this
Yeah.
is. So this is underneath
Did you-
a window at my
Okay.
house behind, like
Okay.
you know, like my green desk setup or whatever, and I usually have that computer there. It's behind all of that in the window, like when you're in the other room, the room that looks like a closet, which I
Yeah.
never really show anymore. There, and then I have a like a little tiny Japanese table, and so that's what I have right there with a board on top of that. And so yeah, that looks a
Do you
lot
have any-
redder than I remember.
do you have any Chinese elements
No,
about
the Japanese
around?
house.
Okay. Okay. Well, I have supposedly a Red V90, and it's my camera that's making it look red, because this is the one that I would consider orange, by the way.
Mm.
But what we were saying in another episode of this podcast, I think Shem was on at the time, that you got the only true handy Apple Red V90 in existence, and why are you holding out from us? Why aren't you showing
Can
us?
you go through the rest of the video when I actually with my green mat and real lights? What does that
Okay,
look like?
let's scroll over.
Yeah, let's take a little.
Oh, it's
Here.
terrible. This is my old school lighting back here.
Let's take a
Look
look
at those
here.
old baby Russ hands. That's from like 3 years ago.
Look at this little guy. He's just brand new baby in the world.
Yeah, right here in this setup, I had 2 like side lamps basically, and so that's why this looks
Here, that's a
like
pretty
very
good shot.
shadowy. Yeah, that's more orange.
Is it just your lighting that made us believe
I'm
this?
still convinced
Maybe.
someone at PowKiddy is trying to sabotage them, and they slowly pour a little bit more white into the mixture.
They've slowly
Just
been
that one
they've
dude.
slowly been gaslighting
so
us
every batch keeps getting lighter.
for years.
I don't know what to say.
I mean, I guess this looks like the same shade of red as that right now.
No, it's definitely different.
I think it's different. I mean, like
Yeah.
Russ's
You
video
keep
was
looking.
one that
Gotta
stood
get
out
more-
to me.
let me get more
It
light.
Yeah,
looked
look at how
very
red my hand
Yeah.
is right there. It's just overall my coloring right there is pretty red.
I think you.
Well,
need
then,
to
like
get-
Shem shared
continue on
his
your quest.
image of his, and
Look
his
red.
looks super orange in comparison. Let's see if I can.
There was a little bit more natural lighting here.
If you want to go down the rabbit hole, if you
Yes.
look at my PowKiddy V90 black video, I definitely pulled out the orange one to compare them.
oh,
So that'll
yeah.
be with the new lighting and everything
Yeah,
else.
we gotta pull that
and
up.
that was like, I don't know, within the last year.
So I'm gonna show Shem's unit real quick,
Okay, let's show Shem's unit.
and here is
That's
his. and
orange.
That's,
That is
that's
orange.
pretty orange. Yeah.
I don't know if mine's that orange.
Pull up,
yeah. See.
See, you do have. There are
Oh no, Stubbs is gonna lose
Different-
sleep, man.
there are
It's
different
like a
versions.
conspiracy theory. Come on.
No. There's Russ. You didn't
Inside
pull up
job.
the red V90 in your video, did you? I don't think so.
I must
Are
have.
we
in my-
really surprised there isn't consistency in the plastic color for PowKiddy units? Like,
Yeah.
is this really what we're surprised about?
Well, it's just like it wouldn't be a big deal if it wasn't for the fact that I had to buy the Red V90
I'd
every
find
time the
pictures of
baby was
mine.
born on the
Mine-
server. Another baby was
That's
born
true.
yesterday, and I had to send a Red V90. And it's like I don't know if I'm sending them a true red. Like I'm like, if it was an orange V90, why don't they just say it's orange? And I can let
So
them
you
know.
do.
Like what is that?
So here's mine. No UV light. by the
Salmon?
way. It's just my
Salmon
nanoleafs
V90?
reflecting on it, and
My
it's
other
like,
V90s.
what is happening with this thing?
That's the Miyu Flip prototype.
This is like the dress, you know, is it yellow or blue or whatever, like from that internet meme thing.
What the hell, guys?
Yeah.
PowKiddy just needs to make a new one. I'm gonna say every time we talk about the V90, I'm gonna say the exact same thing. They just need to make a new one. That's
Yeah.
their best handheld.
Those
there
are
any
definitely
difference?
different. I think they're different. They look different.
Oh, let's see here now. Oh, my lights are falling over. Everything's happening.
Wait, make your screen
Even with
big
the
so we can
lighting
see it.
change, though, it looks different. The shades look different.
They are different. This one on the right is more red than this one, and it's a slight. It's like one or two hues
And they came from different not manufacturers, but different sellers, right?
No, these came from the same seller.
Same seller. Okay. Interesting.
These, well, actually, no, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I thought they came from
the red one came from Creative
Amazon,
Zone,
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
from the one you're right, from Amazon. The other one I got from the same seller was yellow.
The yellow one was the best one.
I bought red.
That was the best one.
Yeah, I bought red, 2 reds, and they sent me a red and a yellow. So that's.
And the guy said he checked too. That's what made it better. He said
That's.
you asked him to check. He
Well,
said
I did.
He checked. You still got yellow one.
To be fair, that was the Amazon seller I asked, not the AliExpress seller. So I mean, this guy did check, and it is a Red V90. And I would say this is mostly red, but it's a coral. This is a coral red, not a candy apple red that I asked for. I said to look through your stock, give me the candy apple red, which probably sounded like a crazy request, and it was. And this one's definitely more orange coral. And Russ is, I guess maybe.
I've spent more time thinking about the V90 in the past 10 minutes than I have in the past year.
You ever have?
It's a great
Can we
little
get a
handheld.
hingeless
It really
V90?
is.
That'd be cool too.
Well, there's the black one that you looked at.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
Black
right.
is
You're
the
right. Wait,
safest
it
bet,
just,
honestly at this point.
you just showed it.
See.
Hold on.
I'm
eat my-
thorough. Come on.
You are. I'm gonna eat my words here. This is one of your early videos too, right?
No, this was from like last year.
Well, still. Okay, let me look
I
at
think
this.
Shem has a special unit.
That's bright.
Yeah. It's pretty
Yeah,
rare.
I guess
Yeah,
that's
yours is pretty
similar.
Red, yeah.
I mean, that's like
Red.
Retroid Flip Sport Red edition.
Yeah. That's
Hangover Red.
Hangover Red.
I like that this podcast has sort of become the Seinfeld of retro podcasts. We just sort of talk about nothing for a while. And like, I'm good with that personally. I don't know about you guys.
Well, this
But I
is
think
a
we should probably.
serious issue though.
Wait,
It
This is
is.
probably-
Well, it's a serious conspiracy.
You've
yeah.
lost a lot of sleep over this.
I have. I bought
Just
3
really quick, because somebody
three
asked us to
V90s.
cover this. The whole thing about why people were upset with the Retro Pocket Flip when everybody loves
Oh,
the
yeah.
3DS. And yeah, just really quick to cover that. People were concerned about the hinges. Because even Nintendo had
They've been
problems with it.
breaking.
They were breaking, and that's exactly what's happening to people. Like, I have mine right here, and I have no issues.
Yeah.
I'm also really careful with how I open it, and I'm
Same.
guessing that's why the stoppers are here, so you can't open it all the way. But that's why people were concerned about a flip, which just makes the V90 that much better, because I didn't see any of those break.
These have
Well,
never
the design
broken.
is interesting.
These are
on
these
the
are
Flip, sure.
S tier. These are S tier hinges on the V90. You guys ever heard the snap before?
Oh, not the snap again.
Oh yeah, you hear that? That's this one actually has a little creak in it. Listen, it sounds like my attic. Here, listen to it. Oh yeah, snap, clap. So now
Too
the
much
flip.
V90.
The flip is the most boring hinge in the world. It opens, and then look, it doesn't snap. There's no auto snap. There, you have to manually push the damn screen down, and there's no. Listen to this sound. Ridiculous. Listen to this.
There's no difference.
No. Listen to that. Oh. See, now listen to this.
Now,
Thud.
the difference.
Thud.
What is it's just the
You hear
sound
that
of
thud?
plastic
That's
closing
the sound.
together?
That's the sound of like, somebody hurling a bag of potatoes on your head, in your sleep. That's what that sound is.
This is what people tune in for.
Yeah.
Yeah, this,
This is the good stuff.
this, and that satisfy, like right there when it clicks. Oh my god,
I do
And
like
then-
that back click. Yeah.
that back click. Oh yeah, and then watch you put it towards the end and auto, boom, no problem. I didn't have to do that. That did it for me. This is automation at its finest.
I do worry
So-
about long term with the
I-
flip. I wonder
yeah,
how
I do.
long that will stay, tight the way it is. That's the only thing I have concerns about. But
Yeah, I have 3
Yeah.
models. I have the sport red,
Yeah.
the purple, and then the transparent red, and no cracking yet, thankfully. But yeah, the sport red has a different feel, like in the
Interesting.
hinge. It's easier to close, and I think it's probably because it's like glossier, and so it's a little smoother, whereas the other ones are a little bit more rugged. And so that hasn't changed since day one. My wife uses it every day. It still feels the same to me, at least. So yeah.
I'm pretty sure, like I said, that's why these little clips are. I don't think we can get it on camera. Back there, the ones that
which
stop
is
the
also
screen.
interesting design
Yeah.
too. Yeah, I've
Well,
never
it's-
seen a
if it
hinge
gets
done that way.
loose,
Interesting.
if it gets loose, you don't have to worry about the screen just flipping everywhere because it's going to rest on those. So at least that's what I think for it. That and to stop you from opening it all the way and just breaking it. Yeah. So I mean, they definitely try with that. And like I said, I have no issues with my hinge, but I've seen a few pictures and it's a concern. But that's, in my opinion, that's why people were worried about that.
I'm worried.
Sure we covered that.
Well, thank you for covering that. And that was, what was that cover coming from? Some Viola, yeah. And we covered Zoo's cursed comment. But this is the salmon color. Is that truly salmon, though, Rob? Is that truly?
It looks
what that is.
It looks like yellow during the daylight, but
oh, okay. So that's the yellow. With
it was just sitting on my desk when we were actually talking on the last podcast.
That's right. I remember this.
I was like, I'm not holding a UV light to this thing. It's just
right.
My nano
it just looks.
In the background.
It just looks yellow.
Remember, I was telling you that even the yellow in daylight looked a little off, and I think that kind of highlights.
You have the pea yellow. That's right. I remember this now. I remember this now. Okay.
Yeah, I'll say one thing about PowKiddy. They are consistently inconsistent, and they are very good at that.
They are, and we're consistently good at changing topics. So the audience topic today was voted on by, let's see, you guys took the poll on our community post here from today. Thank you, everyone who voted. And we thought it'd be fun for you to pick the topic. Now, our options were our favorite houseplants, our favorite Metroidvanias, which got pretty good, Russ's OnlyFans, which, by the way, is actually not a real thing, if you didn't know. Yeah, sorry, I made that one up.
It's only hands.
Yeah, it's just it's videos that don't feature its face. So it is a list.
I consider
it's
everyone
a playlist.
to be OnlyFans, so it's everyone's OnlyFans. It's my YouTube channel.
I'm a fan.
World's greatest hand model.
So if you want to back Russ's OnlyFans creation, that will.
You can find it at youtube.com/RetroGameCore.
Yeah, there you go.
Retro Game Court and support him. He will buy the Chicken McNugget handheld if you sign up today. Now, if 1,000 people sub to him by midnight, he's guaranteed to purchase that handheld. So that's my call out to the world today. The other topics we had were games we're attempting to play lately, which just barely won because we're not going to count this one because I told you guys that one of them wasn't real, and I'm going to say right now that the one that wasn't real was Russ's OnlyFans. I was going to talk about houseplants, and I would have to talk about the storied presidency of Lyndon B. Johnson. Russ actually knows a bunch of trivia about this, and I would love to hear more about that. But unfortunately, you guys voted for games we're attempting to play lately as our winner. So, guys, what games have you attempted to play lately? I'll start. I've been attempting to play through the game of the month, which is going to be... What one did I play? Harmful Park. It's Japanese import shmup.
So glad that one.
It's really colorful.
It's a great game. Yeah,
it is, and I've never played it before, and I love it. Yeah, I love it. It is a lot of...
The whole premise, the design of it is great. I just love it.
Pull out my RH branded case. You can get this too from Etsy. Seahorse laser design. I love that I have like working 35XXs that are much nicer with bigger batteries. But the one I use to this day is the janked one with the sticker upside down. The screen is broken in the lower right.
Sorry.
Most of the screws are stripped, and it doesn't always work all the time. And I think the battery lasts about an hour, but it's good. Let's get this brightness up. So this is Harmful Park. Too bright. And it's just a really colorful, fun shmup for PS1. And I highly recommend it. Do join our Game of the Month program if you want to have a group of nerds help pick out a game for you to play when you don't know what you want to play. You don't have a randomizer on hand? Great. Go into our discord.gg/retrohandhelds, and you too can play Harmful Park and get cool merch like this hat. It's right there. Can't really see it, but it looks good. That's mine. How about you, Russ?
So I played a lot of Game Boy the other day, as you may have known from my video. But Tears of the Kingdom, it's an old retro game you guys may have heard of. So I put that on the Steam Deck. You know, I bought the copy, and then my kids were playing it, and I was like, okay, well, I want to play it. So I dumped it and put it on my Steam Deck. It's working well. I got some settings from CryoByte, which is the guy who does Cryo Utilities, which is a plugin for Steam Deck. And so he gave me those. I haven't shared them just because
our hero
it seems a little bit hot, right now to talk about. But anyway, I'm probably halfway through the game. It's to the point where I have to put my Steam Deck in a different room if I want to get work done. Like, because
it's that good.
I have a lot of self-control. Like 22 years in the military, like I am very regimented in that stuff. I have to put the Steam Deck in a different room. Like that's how bad it is because I just want to play it. And
you just want to keep playing it. I think it's cool you're playing it on the Steam Deck and not on the Switch.
You know what's funny is I'm doing the same thing actually. So I went out and bought the OLED Zelda Switch, started playing it on that. Then I got that stomach bug, and I said, you know what? I want to load Tears on my Steam Deck, and that's what I did, and I've been playing it on there since. So,
how big does it run?
It's so I can get a pretty stable 30 frames per second. I'm playing in handheld mode, so it's not like high resolution or anything. But it's still like it's better frame rate than on the Nintendo Switch itself. I get some stutters, here and there, but I've got 36,000 shaders loaded in that thing. I've been playing.
That's
it so
crazy.
Much. So,
has it been crashing at all or anything?
I've had issues with Yuzu when I kind of messed around with it, and I lost my save game at one point.
No, you just
every
start
night
over?
I back it up, and so I'm not using cloud saves or anything. All I do is I just go into the desktop version of my Steam Deck, I grab the save files, zip them, and then throw them on my Google Drive. And then I just, if I ever need to get them, I can have that days. So I lost 1 day's worth of progress at one point. But other than that, it's been great. And so really enjoying it. And I can use that save game on other versions of Yuzu, like desktop version or whatever. I haven't had my ROG Ally in a week at this point. I actually shipped it off to, what do those guys make? A Waterfield, the people that make those really fancy leather cases or whatever.
Nice.
Really?
So I sent over to them for a week for them to do, like, to create cases.
No way.
For it. And so I'll get it back today, but I've been missing that. And so
it's gonna be so nice on that.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go back to playing it on the ROG Ally, and then I have that external GPU thing that I made a video about as well, and so I can just plug that in and then play it on my desktop, and it's like, 4K at that point, which is amazing. So
Russ is a gentleman; his wife is lucky. I'd agree. Yeah, so
I gotta let her know that.
Well, I've been playing
the internet loves me
on the Tears of the Kingdom Switch because I haven't had an OLED in a while, and it's been fun. Now knowing that it can play at a higher frame rate and looks better on the Steam Deck, I think I'll switch to the Steam Deck too because I'm not very far in. And I realized when I was playing it, I have no idea what I'm doing, and so I went back to Breath of the Wild, and I've been actually trying to play through that game very slowly.
That's probably a better idea. Because if not, you're not going to be able to go back if you play Tears.
And
hard.
I agree.
I never played Breath
for
before.
sure. Tears is definitely pushing the Switch hard. I mean, it's very obvious. Playing on the Switch, you can tell the game is chugging along at certain parts. It's like,
it's probably one of the most impressive games I've seen. It's a great game in general, but just the fact that it's on the Switch, it's what's amazing that it can do that.
I'm almost positive that whatever next piece of hardware Nintendo releases, there will definitely be a HD version of that game for sure. As probably even as a launch game, if anything.
It's probably going to be the same game. It's going to run better.
Exactly.
They already kind of laid the groundwork with the OLED. Like everything says that the OLED was supposed to be a more powerful Switch. Even the dock was kind of set up for a better output. So I think the game's just going to run better on the next Switch, and they'll probably do like the premium or deluxe version that Nintendo does, where you get all the DLC and stuff.
Wait a minute. Will this play at a higher FPS consistently if I dock it? I've yet to dock this one.
No, it's just going to run a little bit better resolution. 900.
In fact, I think it might run better. From what I've heard, it runs better when you're playing in handheld mode. So it's just kind of a weird thing. It really does tax the Switch, though. I mean, it really is pushing it hard.
It hasn't really bothered me that much, though, just because this type of game, I don't really mind a lower frame rate in this type of game. If this was a shooter, like if I was trying to play Doom and it's running like this, there's no way I would play it. But on this one, it doesn't bother me that much, and it's kind of made me appreciate my Switch again. because I kind of got away from it. I was about because I bought it too. I bought an OLED just for that. I didn't get the Tears one because I bought it
wasn't
like
out
2
yet?
weeks before.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't out yet.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Actually,
if you
it's
wanna-
his
if you
fault
wanna-
they even
I-
went out and bought the OLED Switch.
I have no.
I did, and I couldn't return it to Best Buy anymore because they only give me 14
no.
days.
Yeah, I know.
Oh no!
They changed
Yeah.
the return policy. I hate that.
I was like,
it
we
was
can do a
so bad.
swapsies. What one did you get? The white one?
The white one, yeah, just the white.
Yeah, I would take that because I can put on different Joy-Cons and make it other colors and stuff. But I do like this Moomba
Oh,
case
you got
that
the
you
green.
recommended.
Yeah, I love that.
I got the
Nice.
green one,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like a Zelda themed one. Kind of has these like cool.
That's a really
symbols.
good
Yeah, I
grip.
like
And it-
that.
I like the feel of it. And it's like a matte feeling because the OLED for sure looks good, but it doesn't feel good. It's not ergonomic, and
No.
with
That's the
this
funny
I
thing
have
too.
a-
I've noticed I liked playing on the Steam Deck just because I like having
because
those
the
grips.
have the
I like
these
the grips.
bumps. This
Yeah.
fixed the
Yeah.
OLED for me, so this is now
Oh yeah,
better.
it's so much better. Plus,
But
I
I
have
still-
a Joy-Cons with the D-pad. I have
Oh.
the extreme rate shell.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I got one of those too. Thanks for that recommend. I picked
Yeah.
up one that comes with the D-pad built in, actually, so I didn't have to mod
That's
it
what I
or
was saying.
anything.
Like, I really like my Switch again now because
Yeah.
battery life is on the OLED. Battery life is ridiculous. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm getting like 4 hours on Tears of the Kingdom, and it's comfortable. It's lighter. That grip makes a huge difference. Like, I can see myself actually going into my Switch backlog now for indie games, which I was going to play on the deck instead, just because I'm enjoying it that much.
Yeah,
So I'm kind of in a weird spot with it right now.
I still like the Switch Lite the best. I gotta say, I've been playing them back to back. I took the Switch Lite in the RG35XX camping. I was camping for like 4 days last week. Got a bunch of mosquito bites. It was a lot of fun, but it was nice to be out in nature. But the Switch Lite, I ended up using more than I thought I would. Breath of the Wild, while being in the wild, it's pretty cool. And you know, the thing I gotta hand it to Nintendo is that their games just work. They just boot up and they play. You don't have to download the latest software patch if you don't want to. They let you skip that, and that's really nice.
And they're light.
And they're lightweight, and they're not that big.
Yeah.
The
And
other
you
thing
can
that was
get
impressive too, I
physical
noticed
parts.
playing Tears, the fan wasn't really kicking on all that much.
I haven't heard my fan at all.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really interesting. I was noticing that because I remember you making a comment of that, and I
Yeah.
was like paying attention to it. I'm like, yeah, the fan is really not ramping up at all on this, but on the Steam Deck,
Yeah.
it's a jet
it's
engine.
crazy.
no, it's crazy. It's like
Yeah,
freaking
I was
crazy.
used to the Steam Deck sound because I replayed Breath of the Wild on the
Yeah.
deck, which was amazing. That's definitely the best way to play that game is on the deck, or maybe the Ally now. But and I got really used to the fan, just going crazy all the time. I grabbed my Switch, I'm playing, and I'm sitting there like, this is really quiet. This is weird. And the fan's not even kicking on, and when it does, you barely hear it. But yeah, it can't like there's no scenario where I would trade the Steam Deck for a Switch, but I really do like the Switch having both is nice.
Yeah,
And it's impressive thinking about the tech behind the Switch, how old it is.
Oh yeah,
the Tegra X1 from 2014.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. It shows you what happens when you optimize software made for a specific chipset, how much you can squeeze out of it, and that's really impressive. I mean, Nintendo is good about that. Squeezing performance out of very old hardware is definitely their thing.
And they didn't want to change it or do a Switch Pro yet because
I feel like
they
the
wanted to keep
outlet
one
model is
platform.
Sort of
I think they
Switch
couldn't.
Pro.
There was the chip shortage really kind of put a stop on that because the new dock can output up to 4K, I think, which there's no way the Switch would have been able to.
Wait, what?
Usually, the dock for the Switch has a higher output than what the Switch can put out.
The dock,
So they-
the OLED dock Switch
Yeah,
does 4K?
it's not going to upscale it, but so basically when you dock the Switch, the dock doesn't really do anything but output it and provide power. So when the Switch realizes that there's a power supply and it doesn't have to run on battery, it ramps up. So that's why you get better resolution when you dock it.
Wait a minute. What if you just plug in the power supply straight to the handheld only? Then will it do the same thing, or is it considering itself not in docked mode?
I'm not sure.
it's
I don't
not gonna
think it
upscale
will.
on the
No,
screen, I
it's
don't
not.
Well, not upscale the screen, but I mean, is it going to ramp up, I don't know, frame rate or anything?
I don't
if you
think
have
so.
Super Mario 3D World, that would be a good one to test because
Yeah.
that one is 30 frames per second in handheld, but 60 in docked.
Okay.
So you can see if it jumps up to 60, which you can probably tell, the feeling between the two.
I think Ori does the same thing.
Yeah, some
any
games
of
are
us
playing
Switch.
Ori,
Speed on.
Yeah.
We know Mr. Noodle Man. We've had him on the show 2 or 3 times. Do it again. But yeah, that's interesting to know. And I was so distracted by that comment, I missed the actual answer I wanted to hear. Was so yes
the
or
answer
no?
is no.
The
No,
answer
it
is okay,
won't.
shoot.
It won't,
Okay.
it won't. No.
Bummer.
Yeah.
I don't like docking the Switch, and that's why I got rid of it last time. I felt like it's a good handheld, but the docked experience compared to like the PS5 or Xbox Series X on the same TV is.
There's yeah, me too. I like docking it whenever I get the chance. When my son isn't hogging the TV, like I'll dock it.
Yeah.
And I know there's I forgot what it's called, but basically it does like the artificial upscaling.
Yeah.
For the Switch, where you can plug into the
Wait,
TV
what?
and you can plug in there. Yeah, there's an
class
attachment. Yeah, there you go. Where it'll upscale your games for you when you dock it.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a lot that's gone. Like the community around the Switch is huge too. Like people really got a lot out of this game.
I don't doubt it, and I'm sure that I probably sounded a little silly even asking these questions because I'm just this year getting into the Switch truly, and I'm a newbie really. I've
in general,
emulated it
like
for
our
years,
community doesn't really look at the Switch a lot. Like,
we
for
don't.
some reason,
we avoid
we just
it.
kind
I don't
of
know why
almost-
either. I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah.
It's almost taboo to talk about modern corpo handhelds like that.
Yeah.
And I've been on that train too. I think it's only this year where it's like emulation from time to time feels stale. And I had a kid's birthday coming up. Got her a Switch Lite. She loves her coral pink Switch Lite. But I started playing. I'm like, I want to get one too. I want to play because we'll play 2-player.
Yeah.
And God, I gotta say, man, like Super Monkey Ball, Lego City Undercover, there's some
There's a
good,
lot of great.
If you look
games.
at the library,
good
especially
co-op games.
today, like there is a lot on the Switch and a lot.
I think there's about 15,000 games.
Yeah, I mean,
Something like that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
so much. I mean, the fact that they got Doom Eternal running on that
Yeah.
is incredible.
They
I don't know how
did?
they.
Witcher
Yeah.
3.
And it's
Witcher
actually
3,
not
yeah.
a bad port. I mean, it's
No.
pretty impressive. It's just
Yeah.
again when you're thinking about what you're working with, it's like, wow. Just from a technical point of view, it's like this is really cool. But
In
there's
these
a
older
ton of
games,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, what I've been doing is I've been slowly buying cartridges of all of my favorite games. Like I had a lot of them on digitally, a lot of indie
Yeah.
games and stuff.
Yeah.
But now I've just been rebuying them, even though I have them on
Yeah.
Steam, even though I have them on the Switch Online or whatever. Like I just rebuy them because I want the cartridge because I just don't trust that the digital
Yes.
games that
Yes.
I bought,
Yes.
I'll be able to play
100%
them 10
agree.
years from now.
Yep.
And so
The
like
eShop.
And
Right,
You might not
exactly,
be
like-
able to play them on the next console. Like
Right.
little, yeah.
And
There's
so,
a
like,
chance.
I'm buying, like,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm buying Dead Cells. Like I do not need to buy Dead Cells again, and I
No.
bought it so many times.
It's worth
but I
buying
bought the
again, though.
cartridge
It's
just
worth
to have
buying
it.
again.
We do the
Yeah.
same thing. Like that's one of the things that I'll emulate indie games, but only if I already bought them. And I usually
Right.
already bought them on multiple platforms, like Dead Cells,
Yeah.
like you were saying. I have that on Switch. I have that on Android. I got it on Good Old Games, and I'm probably gonna end up buying it on Steam
Right.
later on. As soon as it's on sale again. And I do that with a lot of indie games. Oh, there he is. He just got into it too.
Yeah,
Well,
like
game
I'm
preservation
building
is a
collection.
real
Yeah,
concern.
right.
I mean, that is
Become-
really a topic.
It
You know,
becomes addicting when you find good
Yeah.
deals on these. Like
Yeah.
when you find a low deal on that Mario 3-in-1 game that everyone kept talking about last year.
That's a great little bundle. A little
It's
overpriced,
also-
sure, but yeah.
it's funny because a few years back, I probably would have looked the other way at emulation handhelds. I would have said, no, I'm only
Yeah.
collecting physical, and
This
I really
game's
was a
fun.
big physical collector. And then now I'm kind of in between, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
from a preservation point of view, owning physical is they
And there's
You
definitely
can't
something
take it away
cool
from
about
you, you know,
yeah,
so-
having the actual
Yeah.
cart with the game in it. Not a
and the
CD
art,
that
like
actually
Well-
box art, you know,
Yeah.
it's all
Yeah.
fun. It's all part of the experience. I like
And
it.
here's why I've been doing it. I've been doing this because not only because it's fun sometimes to collect stuff, but I want my kids to have the experience of having a tactile game
Yeah.
because the Switch obviously is their generation's platform, and that's
Right.
the one they gravitate towards and enjoying. And I don't want them to only know about apps that they play on their Kindle.
Yeah.
I want them to know about instruction manuals and games, and they can touch it. And my son, who's only a year and a half, but he helps organize these, and he'll take them all down. He'll look at them, look at the pictures, look at the instructions, and then put it back and then make a mess because he's a toddler. But I mean, this is such a
Yeah,
But, like, I have
got a stack of
memories.
them.
yeah.
I got a stack of them the other day from Amazon or wherever I bought them from, and first thing my kids wanted to do was, even my 14-year-old, who's like too cool for whatever at this point, he
Yeah.
was like, oh yeah, let's see what kind of things we got inside. Like each of them, like Shredder's Revenge. Oh look, this one comes with a sticker book, which is kind of cool, and things like
Unicorn
that. Yeah.
Princess is a rare one, you know, and we got Coco Melon. That's a really good one too.
The only bad thing is that when the kids lose the cartridge, like I have rebought several Switch games.
No.
They lose the cartridge.
Stubbs, have you tried a cartridge?
I was
yet?
about to ask him that.
Have you tried LOL Supply?
Yes.
Have
Yeah,
I
have you
done
tasted
what?
a cartridge?
Have you licked one?
No, no.
Do it.
What?
You should do a taste
What
test. Absolutely.
Just try it. Yeah. Oh, and I just
No
love being able to
hesitation of
grab
putting things in
Oh
his
no,
mouth.
no, not at all. He's back to it.
Oh god, everything's happening. Get out of here. Make sure you pick a good game too. You want it to taste.
Do you know why we're telling you to do this?
I don't know yet. Don't even tell me.
Do you want
Well,
us
I'll
to
do
tell you?
it.
Okay.
I'll just do it. Let's
Just do it.
I don't wanna-
Just don't think about it.
Okay, I'll do Spyro. So I don't
Doesn't
think anyone's.
matter.
I hear that one tastes pretty good.
Yeah. It's
Just
spicy.
lick the back. Just like
It's
the
a
back.
hot one.
The plastic or the
The black plastic.
You'll be okay. You'll be okay.
oh oh what is that?
It's designed to taste awful so that people don't
Yeah.
swallow it.
Yep.
Oh oh
He said not to
Nintendo
tell you ahead of
magic.
time.
Yeah.
oh.
It lingers. Quality.
You know, you couldn't
Well.
resist a taste test.
There goes
No,
Stubbs.
he can't. No. That's,
Oh, I know. It's a
No.
sniff test and a taste test. There's no way.
yeah.
Anytime.
Oh, it's hilarious.
There's just something awesome about being able to buy a game, get home, you put it in, and it works.
Yeah.
You don't have to download 100 gigs to play
Right.
it.
Yeah, I have
You're-
no like desire to buy a PS5. Like my Xbox and PS5 are digital only. Like I don't even care, right? Because those I'm not really worried about. I'll have access to them in the future. But Nintendo, yeah, I want the physical cartridge.
Well, Nintendo
I
has
was
shown
late to it.
time and time again that
Right.
they just don't care about keeping their backlog up and running. You know, so
Yeah.
that it is a concern for sure.
Yeah.
But like physical media hits different. I have like memories being a kid in the back seat of a car and just looking at the back of the box art, and it's just, you know, I don't know, it just brings back a different level of
Yeah,
nostalgia.
it's
for me,
exciting.
you know? Yeah, exactly.
I was late to this PS4 party, and I remember getting Spider-Man on like the disc, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna finally play this game because everybody's talking about it. And I put it in the PS4, and it starts downloading. I was so mad. I was so like, why did I even buy a disc?
Yeah,
I paid
exactly.
it was on sale digitally, and I'm like, I'm just gonna get the disc. You know, I want to have it. Seems like a cool game, and it had to download, and I was mad. I hate that so much.
I'm totally
That's
gonna get
the
my
biggest
kids to
problem
try to
with,
lick this now.
Xbox.
Nice.
Oh.
That was awful, guys. That was one of the worst tastes
Yeah,
I've
but
ever
we
had
know
in my
you.
mouth.
You can't resist the taste
Yeah.
test.
I've tasted so many handhelds in gaming since starting this YouTube channel. That is by far the most foul
Yeah.
experience I've ever had with my mouth.
That's
to date.
Nintendo thinking about the children.
Yeah.
That's who they do it for.
I mean,
That's why.
yeah, they're going to try to do that once and never,
Yeah.
ever again.
That's the same reason they don't have a voice chat.
Yeah.
They're thinking about the kids.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I remember the Wii U had a voice chat, and I hopped on there, and I definitely probably traumatized one or two children with
They
the
definitely
ridiculous,
like
the
went into-
ridiculous
Yeah.
things that I said
Yeah.
back when I was like 22 or something like.
I have no doubt that Nintendo went on like a Modern Warfare, like a Call of Duty chat, and just listened for like 5 minutes, and they're like, "No,
Oh,
there's
that's
no
the
way
worst.
we're putting
That's
this
the
on our
worst.
console."
But they had it on the Wii U. They had voice.
They
had
learned
a
their
voice
lesson.
chat. Yeah, I mean, it was a bad idea because it was
It
like,
was
some
horrible.
zombie shooting game, and I'm like, I'm gonna kill you, you effort, like you know. And
Yeah,
actually, I remember the dad got on the microphone and like yelled at me or something. Like I was like, "Oh yes, sir, yes, sir, sorry, sir."
snap you right back to reality. Like,
Oh my God, I'm
can't
sorry.
be- that's a child.
If you've seen me at 38, you should have seen me at 22. I was crazy. So
That's
much.
actually one of the reasons I stopped playing video games. Like around the 360 era was Call of Duty. My little brother was into it. Like I grabbed it, I played a couple games, and I was like, "Oh, this is really good. This is awesome. I'm playing." And some kid just kept like destroying me and just talking about my mom, and it was just bad. Like I was mad, and then like a week later, I got like an automatic charge on my card for Xbox Live, which I didn't know I had because my brother did it, and I was mad, and I was just like, I don't want to play games anymore, and I stopped. And I didn't come back until Skyrim, like years later.
Wow. Yeah, I can't do online anything. Even like Destiny PvP, I can't do it. I'm not talking to anybody. I'll turn all that stuff off, but still, like the stress of somebody else on the other end just is too much for me. I can't do it. I don't know what it is, but like I don't want to kill them. Like I want them to win. Like I'm always on everyone else's corner, right? Like I'm like, yeah, good job. Like great headshot on me. You know what I mean? So it's just not worth playing. It's too stressful. So.
You're like Andrew Luck. I don't know if anybody watches football, but he used to do that. Whenever he would just get destroyed by like a defensive player, he'd get up and he's like, "Yeah, man, good hit, good job." But he's just getting absolutely wrecked, like to early retirement. He's just like, "That was a really good hit, man. Good job."
Yeah, I played tennis all through high school, and I played singles, and I shouldn't have, because I didn't care if the other guy won. I'm like, look at that guy gets to advance to the next bracket. Isn't that awesome? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even thinking about myself and stuff. So I eventually moved over to doubles because I was like, now I want that person, like my teammate, to win, and so now I'm actually like in it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I tried tennis and like for like 2 days, and I'm like, this is not for me. Change of direction was not my. I was 230, 240 pounds in high school. I was a football player. Wow. Change of direction was not my thing at all. Like, it was just like north and south. That's where I'm going. All right, guys.
I played a lot of tennis in college. Yeah, I love tennis. I'm actually trying to get my daughter into it now. So
that's why I show it in every video. I tested a tennis game just because I love playing tennis games.
I love
so
tennis.
if I'm going to test a video game, I'm going to play like something I want. So
that's really. I like Mega Man Soccer. I got to say that. I like soccer. That's the only sport I really ever played as a kid. And basketball games, like NBA Jam. Come on.
NBA Jam's great though. That's classic.
Yeah,
it's always good.
You guys saw that?
Street was my game.
Really?
NFL Street was so much fun.
NFL Street. See, I like
no, for PS2 and Xbox.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, NFL Street was You could like jump off the wall and just do all kinds of crazy things. It was a great game. Yeah. And Blitz. I don't know if anybody like played Blitz, where if you hit him right, there would be like a cutscene of the bones just shattering. Their brain, you hit him, they give him a concussion, the brain just like splatters against the back of the skull. Like, horrible PR for football, but it was such
I'm older, so for me it's Mutant League Football on the Genesis. Same thing. You could just demolish, like kill your opponents.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah.
That's what they had us do when I was growing up playing football. Now they know how bad it was, but like I distinctly remember the coaches like separating us like 10 yards apart. He's like, "All right, just ram into each other head first. Have fun, guys."
Sounds good.
Oh yeah. Don't do that, kids.
No, probably not. Don't lick Nintendo cartridges either. My God.
Don't either.
I thought I was going to get shocked. I thought it was like a 9-volt battery thing where if I touched the contacts, somehow it would shock me. And that's what I was preparing to be shocked. I was not prepared for the god-awful cilantro taste in my mouth, which cilantro is disgusting.
No. Oh, you're one of those who think cilantro tastes weird. You have a...
I don't think it tastes weird. I don't think it tastes weird. It's literally a bar of soap that's green that you put in your mouth.
It's a genetic.
I don't know what kind of cilantro you're...
You need cilantro. Like it's bad. I mean,
cilantro's a must.
It's fragrant. It's great.
Delicious.
Mega Man 1 was a war crime. Oh, come on. Mega Man 1 wasn't that.
No, that game
the box art for it was.
Oh, yeah.
You can beat it in an hour though.
Yeah, but
and that's cool. And there's that glitch at the dragon where you can like go to the start menu and do a bunch of cheap stuff, and that still works in the game to this day.
I forgot how bad the box art was until I had to make a thumbnail for Game of the Month for it. And I'm just trying to find a good one, and I'm just going through all of them, and they're all horrible.
It's up there.
Look at this. I haven't seen this in a while.
Oh, it's bad.
It's like Star Wars concept art.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Look what he's doing here. I love that he doesn't have...
It's like early DC Comics villain look right there.
So bad.
Yeah,
they didn't
the
have a
arm
lot
pads.
of like pixels to go from. You know, like I think this is kind of what he looks like. It's so blurry on my TV, I can't really tell.
It's
He doesn't
Mega
have a
Man
gun
took
though.
Thanos'
Mega
suit.
Man doesn't have a gun, and like why are his shoulders all crazy, and like why is he doing a frog hop?
To be fair, they were going off the pixel sprites. Like you can't really
Right.
tell a whole lot there.
I know. They did well. I had heard they hadn't even played the game or didn't even look at the game. Like the artists
Probably
just sort of
Well,
they said,
another
"Hey,
good
he's a
example of
Mega
that-
Man."
look up the cover art
Yeah.
for Mobile Light Force. That game has some special cover art.
It's ironic because it's a boy. It's not even a man.
It's true.
Oh, this one?
So take a guess at what you think the game is supposed to be.
Looks like Charlie Angel.
Charlie's
or
Angels.
something.
Yeah.
Charlie's
It's
Angels,
Charlie's
yeah.
Angels. Yeah, definitely.
No, it's a shmup. It's a shmup.
This is a shmup?
It's a shmup. Yep.
Really?
That's bad localization right there.
I've seen this
Wow.
game. I've seen this game in game stores
It's
before
actually
when
a
I was
great game.
younger.
It's just-
And I
box art.
yeah. Well, that's
And
a
there's
modern.
a PS2 version, Mobile Light Force 2, and they're both from completely different shmup series. They're
That's
not
weird because that
supposed
would
to
make
be
me not want to play it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's Thanos. That's who. Yeah, that's definitely Thanos right there.
They did it again. And then Mega Man 3, look at this. Oh no. I mean that one's bad, sure. Mega Man 2 again, why is he shooting a gun? At least now it's a
he's
laser.
blue. At least he's blue.
At least he's
yeah.
blue.
It's like at that point somebody said something like, "Hey, he's supposed to be blue."
That's
And
just-
now in this one, he's
that's
shooting the
disturbing
guy,
still. I mean, I don't know. This is
shooting the robot right in the crotch, and he's
Happy about it. He's smiling.
he's just like looking at it and he's like doing the weirdest sort of satisfied
He's
smile
looking
again.
right at his crotch too. He's like, he knows what he's doing.
Like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And like
definitely-
Rush is back there, not even looking at Mega Man. Like what's that about? And
Castle
who's that?
Grayskull
And,
back there too.
yeah, Gray Skull. That guy and like I don't know.
He's drawing
Wow.
it like, wait, you mean it's not He-Man?
Yeah. I just feel like they didn't have a lot of the art designers for a lot of games back in the day ever interact with the product at all. Mega Man 4 is starting to get it. Look, like this guy, like what? Who is that guy? Is that character even in the game? Where was that? This little green snail guy, just
I
all
feel
looking
like
angry.
That looks like it could be in there.
yeah. I think
Could
I don't know. I
be.
never got past 2. I still haven't.
Yeah.
seen it.
It was
Terrible
pretty common
board.
for like the game devs to not talk to the artist about like more than, oh, this is what it's for. It even happened in manga. Like in Dragon Ball Z, and I'm going off topic here. Like some of the characters'
Yeah.
colors were wrong because the artist originally didn't talk to the animators and tell them, hey, he's supposed to be this color. So I'm really not surprised this happened with like all early box covers.
Well, and by Mega Man 5, they had started doing ads in Nintendo Power and asking, fans of the game not only to vote on who the next bosses should be, which they took a bunch of fans from Nintendo Power and put them in the game, and that's really cool. But I vaguely remember that maybe a fan helped with the box art with 5, maybe even with 6. I think with 5, and
Yeah,
that's why
I think,
5 looks
yeah.
really good.
I think 6 is my favorite of them. I think that starts to get
like
a little bit.
And 6 is really good. But they have Proto Man in
Something
the
about
box
Mega Man
art
6
here.
is so creepy to me the way they have him in that. It's
But
just- I don't know.
6 box art, you're right. Back to it here. Like who is this? That's Mega Man with one of his powers turned on, and he's got his little bird, which was a focus in that game. But where's Rush? Where's Proto Man? I think this box art again is going off the rails. I think that it's a
They
mistake.
look like curvy villains.
In 5, obviously, this is the one box art that they got right. You have Proto Man, you have the right lore, you have all of these enemies are in the game. Although the one thing here is that Mega Man is shooting laser, or no, he's putting his hand out to stop the laser.
Yeah.
He's stopping the laser. This is great. Mega Man 5, I think, has the best box art.
Is that
we're
the
gonna
one
keep
where
going.
fans get involved?
Yeah.
Yeah, once
Okay,
it hits
yeah,
the
that makes
Nintendo,
sense.
things start to get much better. It was definitely a lot
This
better.
is when he started lifting some weights.
He did.
Yeah,
Look at
that.
he's getting
Yeah.
buff.
Oh, this is ripped.
He's getting 7's okay, and Mega Man Soccer is a gem. I will hold on to that forever. Now the PlayStation
we go.
era,
I have such
Mega
fun
Man
with
8. That's a
I love 8.
great
It's a really
rendition of
good
Mega
one.
Man.
Yeah.
That looks good. I know
I
we're
actually
on a
remember
tangent here,
being in the PlayStation store in New York City, picking that game up. That's a very young memory for me.
Yeah.
Cool. The fact that they even had one back then in the day.
Was it Mega Man 9? They started coming back with the reinvention of Mega Man.
Yeah, I think that was a what was it? A virtual console release, I believe.
Yeah,
Like
but they
360.
and I think
Yeah, I
the
love that. They
tongue-in-cheek,
just embraced the.
they did the little tongue-in-cheek nod to the Mega Man 1 box art.
So I have to be honest. Is anyone as terrible at these games as I am? Because
I'm
not,
pretty bad.
I'm not good at these games.
I'm horrible at Mega Man. I tried playing it recently, and it was bad.
At least I'm not alone.
My brother and I could beat Mega Man 2 on a Saturday if we tried. Mega Man 1 was tough when you got to the Wily stages, and the other ones we beat too eventually. But as an adult, no, I can't play it at all.
See, I was decent at him as a kid, but I never played him on like the NES or the Super Nintendo. We, for a little while, we lived in this tiny little town in like central Mexico, but where it was like 2,000 people. But there was a little it wasn't even an arcade. It was like a store that had an arcade cabinet which just ran like bootleg games. And we would go there, and that's where I played most of Mega Man. So my experience with Mega Man was with an arcade stick and 2 giant buttons. That's what I had. And with that, I was pretty decent. But then I tried playing it on like the Super Nintendo versions and all of that, or the NES versions, and I'm horrible at them. They're hard. They're hard games. Like
they
especially
are hard games.
The first couple ones, like
just abuse save states.
Mega Man 2 isn't that bad, but they're definitely.
Just abuse. Mega Man 2 was unique because it had a normal or a hard difficulty right out the gate, and so I always went with normal. I think anyone who chooses hard is probably a Dark Souls fan, but
Japanese.
Oh yeah, or good at video games.
Yeah. We always got like the easy versions because they didn't think we were good enough for them.
Like Mario Brothers would be a perfect example of that.
And I appreciate that. I mean, we had the same thing with Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. They're like, oh, we better make one for the Westerners, and it's a good game, but playing it as an adult, it's a pretty bad game. It's just so basic. I wish we'd have gotten the good stuff. You guys seen this Mega Man, the cartoon, the TV series? I used to watch this as a kid, and I remember buying the DVD set out of high school, and this also just had some funny, hulked out Mega Man artwork.
That's a Dragon Ball Z character for sure.
Yeah. It had, oh man, the Mega Man TV show was so funny looking, but I still like it. The hero is born.
That's Vegeta without a doubt.
Yeah, they just.
I know somebody in the chat is gonna get that, but
let's say goodbye to Mega Man 1 box art. See. Well, do we cover who is going to convince Russ to get the chicken McNugget?
I think we're all just gonna shave. I don't think he's gonna do it.
Okay, I don't see any videos out on his channel as of now, but not yet. We'll keep an eye out.
Keep it going, yeah.
Yeah.
It's always hope.
And do we cover who do we leave off at? We were talking way off tangents, I know, but we were talking about games we were playing.
Yeah, games we were playing. Yeah.
Did you ever Aish ever get to you?
Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, we got past it.
Yeah.
We got Rob. I'm sure you. Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom. Blah blah. Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah.
I try to play something retro like at night. When I'm gonna go to bed, I'll grab like the G Cloud or well, right now the Flip.
Or Cutman.
And I'll try to play something older, but I just keep flipping through things. I played like an hour of Tetris last night because I couldn't sleep.
On the chicken nugget?
No, just I knew that was gonna happen. No, on this. No, I just flip, and then I realized I should probably finally finish Symphony of the Night. I've never actually finished it.
That's a great game.
It is, and I'm always enjoying it, but for some
hours.
reason, I always stop. I don't know why. For some reason, I always stop playing it, and it's weird because I love Metroidvanias. I know it's a topic.
It's not a Metroidvania though. It's like that was like before that era, right?
No, that was
it's a Castlevania.
That was the first one, isn't it? That started.
It's
like
considered a Metroidvania.
Yeah.
It's a Castlevania
That's where
game.
the Vania comes from in
Yeah.
Metroidvania.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the Castle. So the original Castlevania games were like the linear ones, very slow moving.
They had
like
levels.
the NES ones, up to like Castlevania 4, I think. That's kind of Super Castlevania, and then
So Rondo of
Symphony
Blood
of the
was the
Night.
first.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that was
And
the
then
Symphony of the Night one.
Wasn't that last
Right.
month's game of the month?
And that's the one. Yeah, it was last month's game of the month, and that's actually the game I beat while camping, because you can beat it, in a few hours.
I know. That's why I need to just do it.
Yeah, just do it. Now, Symphony, I think, takes longer than that, but Rondo of Blood was okay. It was okay. I think Symphony's probably better.
Of the Night. Yeah, I mean, Symphony's the one that I just need to... And I don't really have a good reason why I ever stop. I'm always enjoying the game. It's just, for some reason, something happens and I never finish it.
You guys know what...
For a lot of games, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the best Castlevania is, right? It was, what was it? Aria of Sorrow for Game Boy Advance.
I was going to say, I love the Game Boy Advance ones.
Yeah.
They're some of my favorite games.
We have those demon powers in it that were so cool. God, that's a good game.
I want to play the DS ones, too.
Yeah. Dawn of Sorrow was my next.
Yeah. Well, there's a patched version where you don't have to use the touchscreen. You just play the game regularly.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So when I was early in the Navy, like deploying and stuff, the Castlevania games on Game Boy Advance was everybody had those. You know what I mean? Like that's what everyone would take on deployment and stuff. I had a PSP, so I was a little bit cooler. You know, I could play Daxter.
So you had the better Game Boy Advance.
I never had a Game Boy Advance, actually. I don't know why. I just kind of
PSP.
skipped all that. But then when the PSP and the DS came out, I was like, okay, now I'm ready to have a handheld for my very first time. You know, and I started with a DS, and then I could never take that one on deployment because my wife wanted to play Zookeeper on that, which is a puzzle game she loved. So I always had to take the PSP instead. So I played Luminous and Daxter.
Luminous is...
RH is the real Zookeeper.
See, I never had a Game Boy Advance either. I would. That's when I found Emulation, actually. And I would just play, because all I wanted to play on Game Boy Advance were Pokemon games, but they were so slow. And then one day, I think I was on like Neograms or something like that, and somebody was talking about how you could play them on your PC, and that you could fast forward. So immediately, that's why. So that's why I never even asked for a Game Boy Advance, just because I'm like, oh, I can play at 4x, and then I found out you could do it at 16x, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna just get everyone to do over 100 right now.
Yeah, there's something to be said about playing games.
Game Boy Advance. I was in college with that one, and yeah, it's fun. I remember that.
Yeah,
I had the NES one too. That's a really cool one.
That's the thing about emulation, is that it allows you to play the game on your terms, which sometimes is better, right? So, for example, the reason why I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom on the Steam Deck, one, it's the ergonomics that's nice and comfortable, but if we're going to be honest, it's the cheats. It's the fact that I can turn off durability on my weapons and stuff, so they don't break.
They have that already?
Like that, yeah, they're all.
They got a whole bunch of patches for it. Yeah.
So I have durability, infinite arrows, and then the ability to give like 2x damage, so that boss fights are a little bit easier. And so, because I am not, I don't have the time to really dedicate to like get good, you know, like that phrase or whatever. So I can't do like Elden Ring, and honestly, even like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. It's just a little bit. Like, I don't like dying and having to restart, because I feel like I'm wasting time at that point.
Oh, you'll die a lot in Tears of the Kingdom.
Right. And so with this, I'm able to avoid that. And I get it. It's cheating. It totally is. But it allows me to play the game and enjoy it on my terms. And so that's
we had a whole discussion about this, how I think all of us pick easy mode at this point. We're in this point of our lives where that's it. It's just, we're not trying to prove anything. We just want to play the game and experience it.
I don't even consider it cheating. It's a single-player game. Play it however you want to play it.
Exactly. For sure. And I also, even like, again, when it comes to emulation versus using original hardware, I mean, again, play how you want to play. There is no wrong way to play a game. It's all that matters is how you want to play it. And you know, people get upset about certain things, but yeah, just play the way you want to play. You know, there is
like
no wrong.
I played Breath of the Wild on the Wii U because I was one of the few people that actually had a Wii U, and it was a great game. I loved it. But then I played it on the Steam Deck with durability cheats on, with the improved rendering distance and all of that at 40 frames per second, and it was just a much better experience. Way more enjoyable.
Yeah,
so I didn't know that was already available
on the Switch, and then the second time around I played it on Yuzu on PC, and I had like 4K, like all turned up, like really amazing, and I put like 50 hours into it that way, and it was just it was a better experience all around.
Oh yeah,
just really nice, man.
It
has its benefits. That's the thing.
I think so too. Now you can buy 20 chicken McNuggets from McDonald's for $5 in most cities, up to $14.89 in others. Now for the price of
$14 for chicken nuggets.
Hey, no, you get no. You get 20. You get, look how many nuggets.
No,
you
it's
get,
like $20
Rob,
here in San Diego.
That's got to be New York City.
Yeah,
that's
20.
expensive here.
Yeah,
really?
It's $20 in San Diego.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
But
I just went to McDonald's the other day.
Microsoft Bing, useless. How much is 40 nuggets? Wow. That's really expensive,
this is
guys.
the angle you're trying to go to get me to buy it. It's not going to work because I'm gluten free. I don't eat chicken McNuggets anymore.
McDonald's is expensive now.
Hey, Russ, guess
And
what?
I can't believe I'm saying that.
Hey,
Yeah.
guys, come on, chill out here. I'm trying to tell Russ that I've been gluten free now for a few months, and I also don't eat chicken nuggets. I switched for my health because I was having issues, and I feel better. So gluten free is definitely the way to go. But I'm saying if you want a virtual nugget to still experience the chicken McNugget, to see what everyone in the world's been talking about, what everyone's crazy about these McNuggets, for only $23.66, and you get 20% if you buy more of them at the same time. You can get this, and look at the texture. Like that, does that not look like a McNugget texture?
No.
You can still do like
that's been color matched.
Corn-breaded nuggets, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
There's some
Yeah.
gluten-free options, and
Oh yeah,
I think
my
they taste
food
better.
blog had a
Yeah.
chicken nugget recipe that actually blew up at one point. That's like how I got a book deal, was from my gluten-free chicken nugget recipe of all things.
See,
Yeah.
wouldn't this
meant to
honor
be.
your book deal?
Yeah.
Literally a nugget. Look at the double down arrow. What handheld has a double down arrow? This is the only handheld with a double down
I
arrow.
really look forward to seeing your guys' videos.
I look forward to your content and your beard being shaved. And there's a power button. You get a volume button, which I'm guessing there's at least 3-4 graduated steps of volume. Has to be. Hopefully. Pause button. That's cool. You don't see that very often. And you guys see that there's a button that's just, that probably turns the blocks. So you guys seen actually, there's another unboxing here. Oh, look, they compare it with the real nugget.
It's huge.
And it is real big, isn't it? There's the box, you get this.
See, I would have been more interested if it was actually like nugget sized.
Yeah, it's not nugget sized. It's real big, but it looks like a McNugget, and you can't have a McNugget, and neither can I. And so this is my only way. You know what, Russ? Actually, I bought 2, and I didn't know why at the time, but now I know why. The next time I'm shipping you something, maybe if I sent you a McNuggie, would you consider doing a YouTube short?
Yeah, I'd consider.
But don't do like an affiliate link, so no one can say, "Hey, you're promoting e-waste." You can't even buy these anyways. You have to go through a broker or buy it from eBay.
Yeah. For now.
But
I don't know. I feel like it's coming.
Okay, I'm gonna send my second McNuggie to Russ, and we're gonna continue this beard saga into the summer. But we'll see.
Okay.
Well, wait a minute. If I send you one, wait. Oh, we have to exchange money. You have to buy one from me.
I was gonna
I
say
could trick you. I could trick you into buying one from me.
Like I said, I'm not holding you guys to actually shaving.
No,
It's okay.
we're doing this. We're doing this to the end. Yeah. Okay.
Because I'm not shaving.
Right.
I mean, regardless of the outcome. So. Okay.
but you threw down that hot fire, and I'm answering.
Right, because I know I'm not going to buy one.
But I'll trick you into buying my second one.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. You won't know.
See how you trick me.
Okay, you won't know the day. It'll come as something innocent, and you'll buy something from me, and then I'll say, "Ha, this was a bonus. You've just bought this." And I'm gonna live stream, and then you get the razor out. I'll be like, "Yes, show me the stubbles."
Yeah, I
'Cause you've been
recently
stubbed.
shaved. It was like 2 months ago. I shaved on accident because I was trimming and I forgot to put the
accident?
guard back on and went tink and like took out a whole chunk.
Oh no!
So I had to do the rest, And I kept the mustache, did the Ted Lasso thing for a bit. My wife loved it, and now I'm back.
I think the last time I fully shaved, my daughter started crying because I don't think she recognized what it was.
I know, my kids too.
It freaks
You
them out.
could rock a handlebar. though.
Listen, let me make a little correction, guys, before we wrap the stream up, because we're going long here. We're comparing mustache. We're just touching our faces now.
No, just picture Rob with a handlebar mustache.
I'll grow it out too, so I can
Yeah.
roll it a little bit, kind of get the.
Stubbs will buy this thing event. I've already bought 2 of them. Raw. What are we saying here? Let me make a correction. It wasn't fair of me to, on behalf of these guys, say they'd shave their beards. So let me modify the deal. If I convince you to buy it, you shave your beard. If you don't buy it within, let's say, the next week, I just shave my beard. And it's getting hot outside, so I wouldn't mind shaving my beard, to be honest.
Keep the soul
You
patch.
do you, man. I like you
So-
with beard, but it's all good.
Yeah, you keep a soul patch.
Soul patch? What about just
Yeah,
the
just
stash?
keep that.
Remember when I did the stash? Is that good?
That was a good look.
All right.
That was pretty good,
No,
actually.
Should I
just
do
keep the soul
handlebar?
patch. Yeah.
Just this. Oh, just this patch.
Just the soul patch. Just keep that. Everything else goes.
That's so 2007 Daughtry.
Yeah, that's why. Chris Daughtry. You show up with a beanie, they're like one of those beanies that has a cap. I don't know if you remember those.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah. Like it's slightly sideways, and you have a soul patch with a tight necklace.
Yeah.
Okay.
I play a lot of Dreamcast games. Dreamcast good fit.
I'll play a lot of Seaman. I'll play a lot of Samba de Amigo and
like a tight seashell necklace.
Okay. Oh God. Yeah, that was back when I was in a punk band. You guys remember walking around high school with those tight seashell necklaces? You get a little skin caught in there. Oh, that was the worst.
Do you remember having like 20 bracelets on?
Alexa? No.
It was better than spikes. Like, yeah.
I spiked my hair. I spiked my hair green.
No, like
sure.
that spike, like.
Oh, that you'd wear from Hot Topic.
Yeah. Like, those were
I gotta say, guys, I skipped my goth phase. I jumped straight into emo, straight into it. Yeah. Emo. Some people would say emo is like an evolution of goth, but we don't need to get into the high school clique stuff today. We're a retro handheld.
Like the Jinko jeans.
Pedro Lion shirt on.
Oh, Pedro the Lion.
I'm old school emo.
That's like early real emo. Before sort of the pop punk.
Not that early, but yeah. It's like late 1999 Seattle.
We're talking Built
Whenever
to
I hear
Spill
Pedro,
era.
I think of Napoleon Dynamite. That's all I think about when I hear Pedro.
Pedro is my Espanol name.
It is. Yeah, it is.
That's true.
Yeah. Unless, we have a thing called Whitezican, so you could be Peter.
Oh,
it's a whole thing in Mexico.
It's so weird to hear my real name on the podcast. Oh,
sorry. No, but I'm just thinking like there's this whole thing, and we call them Whitexicans in Mexico, which is like they're Mexican. They're full Mexican.
Are we okay to say that? I mean, call our producers.
I'm Mexican. It's okay.
Oh, you're.
Yeah, that's what like. I guess technically I'm like in the borderland of being Whitezican, but yeah, you could be Peter.
Can we say that?
I can.
Well, you can.
It's a good no. Well,
never heard that word before.
No, you got to remember the cultural line here. Like I live in Mexico. I'm Mexican. It's something we commonly use. It has nothing. Right. It's not a racial term at all. It's just something we call a certain group of the Mexican population. Not in a negative way. It's just they call it themselves. Yeah.
The olive version. We're getting deep in here. Well, guys, we're getting a little long in the nugget right now. Let's go ahead and end this on a high note. And Russ, you'll be enjoying your McNugget soon, and you can get 20 pieces at McDonald's for only up to $20 wherever you might live. So McDonald's, you heard the call.
Expensive.
Subway didn't sponsor us when I gave them free advertising. Where's that McDonald's? Bring back the dollar menu. Yeah. And we don't want the McRib anymore. We know what that is now, and we do not want that anymore.
I don't know what it is. I don't want to know what it is.
Yeah.
I've never had a McRib.
Sex. I don't know how else to move things along. How do you interrupt a conversation politely to say, let's move to the next subject? You got to just kind of...
These are like Linus level segues.
Yeah.
Okay. What does that mean? Good. His name is Jared Leto. Yes, Jared Leto's the other Jared from Sub. We're gonna go ahead and just call it what it is. Please accept our shortcomings. This always happens. I don't know how we devolve into this. We're doing our best, everybody. Russ does love the McNuggets, no matter what anyone says, including himself. We will see you all on the next episode, guys. Do you have any final thoughts before we?
Thanks
play
for
us
having me
out.
I mean, this is fun. You know, I usually just watch this and pretend think about what I would say in response to the crazy things. Now I actually get to say it, so that's great.
I like your crazy things that you say. That's good. Oh, that's so much fun. Now, somewhere around here,
it's definitely a change of pace podcast. I listen to a lot of podcasts.
I look forward to
None of them are like this.
Really?
Yeah.
I was missing you guys. You know, it's been a while. 2 weeks feels like a long time, you know.
It's true. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you got all that. What do you have? Ebola, or what was that you had? I don't know. Medicine,
I hope not. I don't think I would look as good right now.
You look great. Wow. Arizona sun.
Oh, just wait till the end of the summer.
Can't wait.
I remember when
I
was told someone I was moving to Arizona. They're like, next time I see you, you're gonna look like a Mexican with the tan. I'm like, maybe.
It's a good look.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe so.
I'm all for the tan look. I love it. I'm like, that's okay.
You gotta remember, people pay for that look.
That's true.
People pay a lot of money to get tan.
Some pay for the look, and it doesn't turn out so well.
It doesn't. No, they look orange.
Orange look.
See, here in Hawaii, it's the opposite. People walk around with umbrellas to avoid the sun. Like
I've seen that
with umbrellas.
They've had enough sun.
Yeah. I mean, our sun is intense out here, so I've definitely seen the umbrella thing out here. But yeah, it doesn't take much to get a tan out here.
Hawaiians just look like a swole version of us. It's not fair. It's really not fair.
What's this? What's he saying here? To play that clip, end us with PTS screaming John Madden on the moon. Is this something? What is this? An internet meme?
Oh no!
One of those memes?
I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
Should we look it up?
No, we probably shouldn't. But you know what? This reminds me. And we'll end here. But I used to do YouTube like Let's Play videos back in like 2013, and I used to do them for a game called Moonbase Alpha, where it had a text-to-speech engine. It was free to play from NASA or something, and you could play songs with text-to-speech. It was wildly entertaining. Like those were our best videos. And we actually got the channel to like 20,000 subs. Like it was crazy. It was stupid short videos. But the point of the story is that the culture around that game was always talking about how John Madden was the hero of the moon. He was the king of the moon. And so we walk around in our spacesuits, not playing the game or building engineering stuff. We would just scream to the mountaintops about John Madden and have the text-to-speech engine sing different songs, like, you know, Miley Cyrus songs. Like you could program the pitches of the text-to-speech. And so we just sung the praises of John Madden being the hero of the moon. And that made me think of this, Mr. DeWitt.
That's what
John Madden.
TTS, text-to-speech, John Madden.
Oh, that's literally what he's referencing.
Yeah, okay,
you guys, you want to see something funny? If you look up my old channel, Geeks with Games, geekswithgames.com, and you look up the Moonbase Alpha videos, we did the most ridiculous things. It's not appropriate content, by the way. Like, do not show it to your family at all. But yeah, it was just me on 5 times more energy in my early 20s. So that's where I started my shtick. But yeah, Moonbase Alpha is still free on Steam, so I do recommend that. I'm not sure where I was going with that,
Mad
but
TV reference. Sorry,
I don't know.
That's
I'm
awesome.
not sure, but guys, I wanted to, as you could see there, quick shout out to their patrons and subs. Thank you guys for subscribing, and just updated this today finally. So sorry for anyone I missed last month, because now it's updated.
Again.
Your roof pooper is right below you there. He's forever going to be attached to you. That's kind of how it goes. But everyone that lists, thank you.
He's a good guy.
He is. Thanks for joining us. These always go in different places, don't they, by the end? Some days we... Have we ever had an episode where this didn't happen, where we just didn't devolve completely? No. Okay. I think that's our thing.
That's
cool.
I think that's the fun of it.
It is. Can be fun.
It's a good way to relax, start the weekend off.
That's our Discord, our channel. That's everything with RH.
That's true. That's what we do. Yeah, you get into a patron chat that we have, and if you're in there, things are going to get weird. They're going to get wild. They're going to get wacky. Sometimes we change everybody's name within a 10-minute period to somebody else's name. Like everyone's named Dan all of a sudden. No explanation. Everyone's named Gary. And in the middle of the night, like I'll often get back on and kind of reset it for the next day. Like, okay, we've had our fun. We don't want to offend anybody either. So that's what you get. That's what your valuable patron dollars. You can have fun and be crazy with us. There's also like merch and stuff. Got to show all that. Russ's shirts have been some of the most comfy. Those are from TeePublic as well. And I highly recommend his merch store. And you know what? Go check out Russ's channel. You already know where he lives. He lives here on the internet at Retro Gamecore on YouTube. Watch his videos, all that good stuff. What am I forgetting, Rob? Watch your videos, watch Rob's videos, watch Aish's videos on our channel. Don't
Got
watch
the
my
flip one coming
videos.
up.
Nice.
I've got a
watch
lot
my
coming out
videos.
next week. I kind of took a break, regrouping from everything, so
Yeah,
I'll be back.
I was the
next
same
week
thing,
with
dude.
a lot
I
of
did
videos.
the last
You're
video and then
pooping a
Ward
lot.
just he looked like Yoshi. That was him. That's actually that was him like for 2 weeks. Just
guys. I don't know what I'm going to do with you all here. We even have anyone in the chat still? Yeah, we do. Secret podcast. Seriously delivers tales of super appropriate white collar serial crime. Yeah. Probably. Some would say
Psychic.
promoting e-waste, as I do, is probably some sort of white collar crime in some part of the world. But I
Someone
promise
has to
to
do
get
it.
better. Somebody, Sonic Love and Wicked Gamer do it pretty well. Pretty well.
Great. It's just, I'm still amazed at the outflow of how much random crap there is on AliExpress. I just can't believe it. That there's that much stuff.
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
It's ridiculous. Like,
RSF. Yeah. Well, anyways, yeah. Check out some videos, and we'll see you guys in the next one. It's been Stubbs, Retro Handhelds. Take care of the handles, take care of each other. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
bye, everybody.